What's good? We live on What It Is Radio, man. Unscripted, unprompted. Late night, man. Just whatever. But I got somebody with me today, man. I got my guy A-Hip from Like It or Not, man. Check him out, man. Like It or Not podcast, man. Straight out to town.
Shout out to Umi. Like It or Not.
Shout out to Umi. What is it? ETC?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We got A-Hip up in here, man.
Yeah, so Like It or Not, that's the podcast. Hey, where's the applause at? Yeah, I hear that.
Hold on, man.
Nigga, you gay.
Oh, shit, man. My bad. Hey, whatever, man. Hip, man. What's good with you, man?
I'm looking up at the camera. I should look down there. I'm chilling, bro. It's just nice. It's nice to finally be on here. Real quick, one time, for everyone who doesn't know, Like It or Not is just a local Tacoma podcast that came about it's 2022 now, so about like 6 years ago. To be honest, originated, by Umi Wagner from ETC. He just gave me the fucking stage, kind of gave me the platform, and I'm trying to just run with it, So Like It or Not, that's my guy's name. It is what it is.
Hey, man, for people that might be watching from like other places, man, could you break down like exactly the whole ETC spill, like
and where we're at and what we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've actually learned that because I've seen 20 people ask them about how it's done, what they do, where it came from.
Yeah.
Like Paris Wright and Umi Wagner are just two friends from Tacoma, two black men from Tacoma that have just cared about fashion and cared about their gear for their whole life. For I guess to be short, you can watch the Groovy tapes on fucking YouTube and find out for sure. But like, they've had this idea to do ETC for a long time. ETC, etc. It's a lifestyle. It's a clothing line. It's a brand.
So they decided to sponsor. Like, how did you guys come about?
Right, so basically I'm down in the shop like 2015-ish. Like, they know that Chris is my older brother, Chris Hippa, you know what I mean? And like, he coached Paris, and like, so I kind of got an in right there, kind of like, plus I'm tapped in with Glenn and the All Fight You scene and shit.
So when you say Chris Hippa, like Chris Hippa's a basketball, what would you call him?
He's a trainer. He's
basketball
trainer,
man. Shout out to Chris.
He's also a trainer, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris for setting a lot of other cats up too. That are doing their shit.
Legendary out here on the basketball tip, man. Shout out to my nigga Jingles.
Hey, shout out to Jingles, man.
Yeah.
Jingles' handles are probably better than Chris's though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean his marketing. We
don't know what Jingles did for his handles back in the day. I want to know.
No, but I will say Chris's marketing was crazy, man. Because I did like. I'll tell that story later, but when the first time I saw his shit, I was like, okay, he's doing it right. Like, he had that whole social media advertising yourself, he had that shit early on. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and because it's not like Chris couldn't do it himself, but EJ O'Donnell.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, he runs the city of Tacoma, or not the city of Tacoma, but the Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah.
Tacoma_WA, and his clothing line. I'm so fucking sorry for being like that and not remember the clothing line, but I mean, like, it's all good. Project Tacoma.
Tacoma,
EJ
man.
O'Donnell is he's a behind the scenes cat. He helps out Daz a lot with above the brim headwear. He might do more things than I realize at ETC, but I know he helped Chris Hippa immensely. With
hey, look, man.
Marketing,
next time you say his name, say my brother. You know what I mean? Man, this is my guy A-Hippa, man. A-Hip. Hey, look, man, share this shit, man. Share this shit. Everybody out there, share this shit, man. Share this shit, Hippa.
I mean, yeah,
we're going to get into it, man. This is a very Tacoma show, man. We've been out on the town tonight, man, and we just decided to go ahead and fucking do it, man.
So appreciate you guys fucking with us. I mean, fuck, I don't know where to start. Chris, I mean, I hear you, though. Like, to hear me saying Chris Hippa, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Was there a disconnect there? Is there, like...
I mean, that's weird for me. I mean, but... Hey, man, look, it don't matter.
The Hippas didn't come from much, but we weren't dirt poor.
Hey, man, don't nobody be judging on this, man. This is Wiiradio, man. What it is, radio.
Chris has kind of got some money now, though, so Chris is...
I feel it. But it ain't where you came from, radio, or what you got, radio, man.
Yeah.
It's what it is, radio,
Chris is doing
man.
This shit, though, and he...
Shout out to Chris.
And he fucking found something he can do that doesn't involve punching a clock.
So back to your podcast, man. Like It or Not podcast, right?
Yeah.
So, what was it? You came with the idea to do a podcast? And then
in my head for sure. And like with the people I know, with like the things that I want people to know from my perspective, like the Jason Swans, like I want his story to be told, like Roberto Bergeson, like no one really knows.
Are those hoopers from Tacoma?
Yeah, Roberto Bergeson, he's a assistant coach at Boise State now, but like he played at actually Decatur, but he should have went to Lincoln, but he got recruited to go out to a different school because he was so good. But he was in my life because he would have me rebound shots, and I would just look up to him. It got me set on really understanding what it takes to get to the next level, whether it's basketball, whether it's fucking doing whatever you're doing. You gotta put the work in. You gotta put the time in.
Yeah.
I've been slacking with Like It or Not. Like I've been fucking with Slap for forever. He's been trying to motivate me, influence me, any which way you can. And to be honest, here we are now. Like I'm on video. Looking up at the wrong camera, right? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you good, man?
It's
you good?
Light, though. It's lovely.
For the record, man, the hippers are known for hooping, man. You can't see it right now, but all these motherfuckers is tall like Russians. Like they known for hooping.
Chris 6'1".
I mean, that's even still, that's above average height. But these motherfuckers is known for hooping, man. Shout out to Scotty, man. Shout out to Chris, man. And of course, shout out to my guy A-Hip right here, man.
Yeah, Scott will confidently say that he's the best hipper. And I easily
y'all do that? Y'all got that sibling rivalry type shit going on, man?
I mean, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, I know for sure, like, you know, I mean, ain't no one touching that hip on the court. It's just the way I play the game, how much I care about it. It's just...
What do you think was the difference then? Fuck it, let's go on. What do you think was the difference between you guys' game? You know what I'm saying? Between you, Chris, and Scotty. What was the differences in you guys' game?
Now, why Scott says what he says is because it's true. If Scott would have worked as hard as me and Chris, because me and Chris would be in the gym all day, all night.
No, Chris is the oldest.
I'm
then you in the middle, and then Scott is the youngest.
Right, so me and Scott are the same age and shit for the most part, but he's a grade below me. So Scott was like the natural talent. We're all natural talents. Anything you add to skill and hard work to anything that's in we can even pick it up tomorrow and start doing woodworking. Man, like a lot of fucking just the closeness of the ages brought a lot of competitiveness.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it gets me thinking that Chris didn't want me to get better than him.
How much older is Chris than you guys?
So he was a senior when I was a sophomore, and Scott was a freshman.
Damn, y'all motherfuckers is like boom, boom,
so we're
boom.
at stadium like that, you know, like freshman, sophomore.
Okay.
And Chris was a senior. And anyways, like Chris just kind of kept it going and believed in himself with his vision of basketball. And like I always had the same vision, to be completely honest. Like he went another and got a certification to become a Nike skills trainer. Shout out to Gannon Baker. Like Gannon Baker, fucking kidding me? That was a huge thing for Chris. He didn't understand what that was going to mean to him. People hating on him in the town. He started building up his brand, and as he built it up, man, motherfuckers still hating on him, bro, and it sucks.
Do you feel like people hate on him in the town? Because I
mean, it's a quiet hate.
I was gonna say I haven't heard no type of hate.
You know,
I ain't heard no type of hate. Everybody I know that play hoop out here, man, they always give him his props, man.
Most of them are the young bucks. You know what I'm saying?
No, even the older cats, man. Because this is what it is. Like
jealous cats.
The older cats. I'll say this, man. I'll say this. The older cats always talk about like his ear. You know what I mean? Like the older cats, they always be like, "Oh, that one." You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they identify him, right? Yeah. But then the rest of them call him by his name. Like anybody younger than like our age or whatever, they call him by his name, and the rest of them be like, "Oh, the white boy with the."
Well, and that was no disrespect. It was just how you describe.
That's how they describe. You know what I mean? So I've never heard nobody say nothing bad, other than if you want to call that bad, how they describe him. But I've never heard nobody. You would know better than me. Like it's not like I sit up and talk about your brother all day.
Well, no, of course not. But things you're in the barbershop, whatever. You know, I mean, like we luckily just were. I mean, like people think that I was a super hooper, and it's unfortunate that I had a great junior year. And so it's funny how life goes. I'm out there in the streets in the bar, and folks are like, "Well, you should be a hooper." I'm like, damn, y'all motherfuckers just like, it's hilarious. Not that I suck, it's just the circumstances. I went to college still off of 2 points a game senior year. I still got a scholarship. I still balled.
Yeah. That's a crazy thing about it. It was just the
coach. It was the situation where I didn't fully buy in. We didn't have a team that fully bought in. And Chris's team as a senior had 10 seniors that were like, there were 8 of them, 6 of them were weak. But they slapped the floor. They bought in. They didn't get mad about not being in the game. Yeah. It was just a different time, and I had to deal with cats that were mad about not getting playing time. The Leonard Whites, the fucking Patrick Hillises, the eventual All-State cat, the Matt Tools. All these dudes were sophomores and freshmen.
See, man, all them names, I don't know them names. Man, you like basketball.
They're gonna fucking know.
Yeah, you like basketball.
And so, just from that happening, like it was a tough thing. You know what I mean? So I trailed college, and it was like a weed thing. I have to go and talk about weed with my coaches at the colleges. Like, okay, so you're not gonna smoke, and just like, dude, what do you think I was doing, bro? Like,
Paul, you know what's good, man?
Like, what did motherfuckers think that I was doing, bro? You know what I mean? Like,
oh man, Paul, this is right up your alley, man. This is my homie,
bro.
This is my homie Andy Hipper, man. Look up his brother, Paul. I know you love basketball, man. Look up his brother, Chris Hipper.
And actually, not like that, not to be a buster, but if you could do it right now, then you know that I ain't no.
Oh, hey, you can either call in. You can either call in at 206-771-9229 or hit us up. Go to your browser and it's Wiiradio.live.
Give me that number real quick. Give me the number for the shit real quick.
You know, go ahead and share this shit, man. We'll give Paul a second to call in, man. My guy Paul is
checking your calls all
my
night
guy.
long,
My guy Paul is a big ass sports fan, man. But you know, it's crazy, man, because most people probably don't look at this area like they should when it comes to basketball, man. This is a area with a rich history in basketball.
Look, check out what he's saying. And I will say that Bob Bender never came down to Tacoma. No D1s were fucking coming to Tacoma back in like '90s, in the mid '90s. Like Billy Brady, they would have came for him.
Oh man!
Like I went to an open gym at Jason Lee, and Billy Brady came, and 3 community colleges came for him, and this was when he was like 24, and he did like all right. But like, I don't think he cared, or he had to. I don't know who could have like helped him get in there. Like, that motherfucking dude is.
I remember I went to school with him, man, because you know, I was from that era, man. Like I was friends. Hold on,
rest
man.
in peace, Joey, bro. I can't be talking about Billy Brady like that because it's like, man, like what his hoop career could have been, and like he's probably like the biggest what if for whatever it's fucking worth, and I hate to even say that.
Wiiradio, WIIRADIO.live.
Man, this dude was nasty, bro. And it was a simple game. Yeah, he was like a 6'3" shooting point guard, like me. Besides, my point guard skills were like at a 4 out of 10, or like a 3 or something like that, you know.
So what do you think it was, man, that made this area like that, man? I mean, of course, Seattle. I mean, we're
okay,
like.
So to be completely honest with what it was, and I have to say this, we started out with the Curtis Allen, the Larry Stevens, and the fucking CJ Massengales, man. Like, there's other cats before then that played D1 football and other sports, but for basketball, it took those guys, and they might have not had the best careers though. Like Curtis and CJ. CJ left his senior year at UW to go to some D3 in Denver, but he's also played a fucking 12-year career in Australia. Casey Cowrie didn't go to the league. Duncan on Kenyon Martin being 6'8" undersized at Gonzaga when Gonzaga first started rolling. 12-year Australian pro making $300,000 a year, type shit. You know, type shit. Not tripping.
Paul, if you can, man, just call the number, man, 206-771-9229.
Like, what made the area this area? And I would have to say probably fucking like, bro, like to really get it, like. It had to be like Isaiah Thomas, man. You had to wait. I mean, because like there was.
I feel like it was before that though, man. I feel like, because I mean, I'm older. I went to school with like Ivy, motherfucking.
Dude, Ivy. Everyone says his son's like, and look, his son is nasty.
Yeah, I went to school like when I came to Wilson.
Remember Ivy though on the court?
No, I went to like that's my guy. You know what I mean? When I went to school, I went to Mount Tahoma.
I couldn't believe how fucking nice that dude was, bro. Like. And he was just so nonchalant with it.
What's good? You live on What It Is Radio.
Ryan Foster.
Yeah, I went to school. That was my era.
Ryan Foster to me was a major baller.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind when they pause this.
Oh yeah. Turn that off in the background if you can hear me.
Yeah,
can you hear
I got you.
Can you hear?
I got you. So, what school did you go to?
What school did I go to, or him?
No, the guy's talking about hoop.
Stadium, 98.
He went to Stadium in 98.
Stadium?
Yeah, you can't hear?
Oh, are you talking about high school ball?
Yeah. He's high school, man. Matter of fact, my bad. Who is this we got on the line?
This is Paul.
Hey, what's up, Paul? Yeah, he went to Stadium in 98.
Cool.
His brother is Chris Hipper, man. That's why I said look him up, man. He's He's pretty known out here for being a trainer, and he trains a lot of people. Man, what is he in China still?
No.
HIPPER?
No, no, it's
HYPPA.
HYPPA. Yeah, but man,
HYPPA. Chris Hippa. He was the HIPA that fucking did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Scott had the potential. We were more talented, taller, dunking out the backboard, wetter jumper. Chris had the poise.
No,
he had the right team. Anyways.
So this guy, your brother's responsible for like the rise, the ascension of Washington State high school basketball?
I mean, no, I wouldn't say that. But it's like talent-wise, I mean, training people individually, but not really like the climate of it like that, because he stays out of the politics, but he's best friends with Mike Coquet, who's the head coach of Wilson and Foss for the last 10-some years. Mike Coquet is one of my mentors. Shout out to fucking Mike. Real one. There's too much politics these days, and the coaches are getting burnt out. It might be time for me to step in and see what I can do.
Have you coached before?
Oh, I've coached a little AAU, but nothing like serious. But that's just because of how my career went. I cut myself off from basketball, and I shouldn't have did that, because then I see people coaching here and people coaching there, and I'm like, dude, you just fucked your shit off. You know?
No, just for context.
Yeah, it can be frustrating, man.
Yeah, no, totally, man. I mean, I put my eggs in one basket, and I love hoop too much, and I it's like a fucking. Oof.
Now, just for
I covered
context,
basketball for years.
Yeah, just for context, man. Paul on the line is a big Oregon Ducks fan. But he loves hoop. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Luke Rittenauer.
Man, I covered hoop. I covered hoop for a decade, sitting courtside.
He was also a sports writer.
Yeah, and even the highest and lowest levels, you can't just walk away and then come back. Generally,
it would depend it would depend on obviously why you walked away. And my shit was like, I was a 23-year-old sophomore at Grays Harbor on the bench for a 2-18 team. And the year before I went to the Green River was like, dude, come to our school, you're a fucking shooter, your game is up and down, HIPAA, come on, bro. And I was like, let me stay loyal to Grace Harbor. Goddamn, we live and you learn. Shout out to Big Goop.
No,
man.
totally,
Brian,
dude. I've made really shitty errors in my life. I get it.
But
you're only 23, so.
Yeah, no, hey, Paul, I wonder.
No, I'm 41 now, but I was 23-year-old sophomore at a community college.
Yeah, I think he's saying in general. Hey, Paul,
trying to live my dreams, you know.
I just asked him, man. I'll ask you, man. What do you think it is that contributes to the Northwest in basketball? Like, why is it that so many good hoopers come from here?
Well, specifically Washington. I mean, I guess some of Portland. But I mean, you have a situation where there's not a whole lot of outdoor activities that you can do. And hoop is one of those where, if you got a cover and a hoop, you can just go. Right? It's the reason that baseball has become such a white sport, is because it's expensive to get into it. But in basketball, man, all you need is a bit of cement and a hoop.
Yeah, hey, Paul. Hey, real quick, I have two names for you I want to give real quick. And I want to see what you think about them, okay?
All right.
I'm going to give you Brandon Brooks, and I'm going to give you fucking Dennis Nathan.
Brandon Brooks seems familiar, but I don't recall the other one, and I don't know where Brandon Brooks was from.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no, for sure. I'm like I said, I'm 41, so like he was a cat and kind of a little younger than me. It was the Portland guy. The Dennis Nathan dude.
Oh, I'm 53 next month, so
yeah,
I've been around for a while.
It's a guy before our
But
time.
the Les Schwab Invitational then. Dude,
yeah, totally.
Kevin Love at Oswego, or not Oswego, but Kevin Love at fuck yeah, dude. I went down to that shit that year.
I only really covered Oregon preps for like 3-4 years, and then I was on to college and pro ball.
That's fucking awesome that you even are in that realm. Like,
it sounds more awesome than it really was.
I'm a
But you know what? It gave me a real appreciation for these athletes who are just fucking amazing.
Yeah, man. You never know who's gonna call in the Wiiradio, man.
It seems like you need to fucking either coach, Paul. It seems like you need to write because there's so many whack writers that aren't telling the truth, or you need to coach.
I'm not so sure I would tell the truth either.
So,
being in the media is like everybody tries hard, but they don't get paid a lot of money, and they end up maybe buying the company line a little too much.
Right, I mean, that's tough to deal with. I can't imagine, bro.
Hey, man, I have some questions for you, Paul.
All right.
As far as journalism, man, how do you feel about like the rise of the internet when it came to did that like true journalists, did that have like an effect on you guys?
Oh, it decimated our industry.
Yeah.
People think when they see a big ad in the newspaper, or when it used to happen, that was where we made our money, and that was good money. But man, the real money was the classified. Where you're charging a regular dude to sell his car, and it's $300 to put your ad in, but there's nothing else you can do to get it out there. And then Craigslist came along.
Got you.
And Craigslist wrecked the news industry, and also the news industry wrecked itself.
Well,
I was an early adopter of an awful lot of things. I graduated in '93, and the internet really wasn't a deal. And like every publisher I worked for, I said, "Why are we giving our content away? We have to pay to create the content. Why aren't we just charging just a little bit for every story or whatever?"
Oh shit! But that's also why I was asking. I mean, like on social media, I noticed like a lot of sports coverage. Like they got Baller's Life and this and that. Like there's a lot of coverage that seems like it's free for me to watch. You know what I mean? Like how do they monetize that type of stuff? I know you guys came from the old school. Like Burns just joined in, man. What's up, Burns?
What up? What up? What up?
Burns just joined in, and Burns is also a journalist. You know what I mean? So I always wonder about people with like journalism degrees that went to school and did it the traditional way when the internet came in. Like
those are the ones in Ukraine right now.
Yeah,
no,
I saw the end coming in like 2006.
Yeah.
Oh, the newspaper writers.
I'm sorry, did I correct someone? I'm a little bit off, I think.
Oh yeah, Burns. Burns.
Yeah,
he just
my
joined.
audio's off. I'm hearing myself.
Master William.
Are you hearing yourself? Maybe a little bit because what we got going on.
Can fools hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you guys.
Of course, I can hear you.
Whatever, I can deal with it if you guys just tell me to shut the fuck up.
No. Go ahead, man. So Jake Burns just joined, man. You know Jake. We've done podcasts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he just joined, and you guys are both two. You guys are two people that I know that are like actually journalists. Like, you know what I mean? You guys went to school for journalism or whatever. Burns, to bring you up to speed, we were talking about hooping Tacoma, Seattle area, like Northwest Hoopers and what it is that makes them the way that they are. We got Hippa over here, of course, his brother Chris Hippa, him and Scotty, they were hoopers out here. So we was talking about basketball history in the Northwest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'll ask you, like I asked Paul and I asked Hippa, what do you think it is that makes it to where we produce so many hoopers out here?
I mean, I was listening a little bit in the car. And shout out for real to CJ Massengale. You had brought him up. He went to Mount T, grew up with him. He was one of the first ones, Isaiah Thomas after that. And then it was the Curtis dude. What was the Curtis dude's name? He went to UW with CJ as well.
No, he went to Wilson, you mean?
No, yeah. He went to Wilson. What was his name, though?
Curtis Allen.
Yeah, Curtis Allen. Curtis. Yeah, his name was Curtis.
Assistant coach at Pepperdine right now.
But I would say before that, you had Doug Christie. I mean, shit, you got Jamal Crawford coming up at that same time. I mean, Seattle, I think personally, I don't know. I heard Paul's comment about how we're kind of like a bad weather area. And I mean, that does make a lot of sense. We've produced a gang of football players, though. We have produced a gang of football players. And then I heard the other part about baseball. See, the one thing is I agree. Out here, you got to have money to play baseball, but tell them cats in the Dominican Republic and Central America and shit, like those motherfuckers come out, they play ball hard, right? But their weather
it's part of their
helps
culture
them.
in a way that it's not for a lot of people here.
Yeah, they got the infrastructure set up.
And the weather makes a big difference. So that's where I think Paul is correct, because weather is a huge deal. Like, you can't go play basketball in fucking December outside, right? But if you had access to a gym, that's one thing. What I say is, and Hip knows this because he grew up, man, something about this area, it feels like basketball is the one sport with the Sonics and everybody gravitates towards it. There's just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's in the water, but there's always been a super high competitive spirit about basketball out here. And I was even telling somebody the other day, it would be like 7th grade fucking basketball and everybody's intense as shit. The game is serious as hell. The parents are going crazy. Like, come on, Hip, you probably been in games like that where 13-year-old kids and the crowd is packed. Everybody's cheering at the top of their lungs. Like, I don't know, man.
The Westgate Warriors in the fucking South End at Mount Tahoma, and we lose to them in 7th grade.
Hey.
Guess what happened in 8th grade? Murdered all them motherfuckers every game.
Master Williams said Mike Dickerson.
Oh, yeah, Michael Dickerson, yeah. And we even had Quincy Wilder way back then. Come on, man. Jonathan Anderson, Dante Harris. Man, there were so many players coming out, man, back then, and Seattle especially. I mean, shit, didn't Seattle had that Spencer Hawes dude who got drafted? They had, what was the other dude who went to North Carolina, but he was up in Bremerton? Marvin Williams. I don't know. I think it's a competition, man, because they ain't playing out here. We got a lot of comp. We don't have a lot of population compared to New York or California, but we have some serious ass programs. I don't know. Maybe it's because some of those hoopers from back in the day gave back and they became coaches and they started programs. I mean, Bill Russell still lives on Mercer Island.
Why did Trayvonte Anderson leave Lincoln to go to Rainier Beach? Because Aubrey Shelton couldn't get him into the D1 he wanted to? I don't know. That's speculation.
Okay, let me ask y'all this. How do y'all feel about the fact that this area has such a rich basketball history, but we have no team, like no NBA team?
I don't think the NBA team.
I really wonder why there was such a rending of garments over losing the song. I mean, the attendance was dwindling. They purposefully tanked the team, and people said, "Fuck you." And then they've been for 20 years now weeping over the loss of the song.
Yeah, I mean,
like a real small population has.
Yeah, but like a real fan, man. Like, we didn't care if we was watching it on TV. Like, I can hear what you're saying, because I remember back in the day, man, me and Master William, man, shout out to him. We used to go to Rite Aid and we'd get these tickets from Rite Aid to where they would give you a Big Mac meal and a Sonics ticket. And we would go to the Sonics game for like $10. Mind you, we got a free Big Mac meal with that shit. And we go to the game, and we go to the game, and the fucking stadium be like,
"Hey, but hold up, because that was like back in like the early '90s, late '80s."
No. This was in the 2000s, bro.
Man, shut the.
Hey, Master William,
not giving away no Big Mac.
Master William, am I lying? Master William, am I lying?
But
please
them tickets
hit the comments, man, and tell me if I'm lying. Master William, he'll tell you.
Mac meal, a free Big Mac meal.
You get it was, the ticket was like $10, bro. You get a fucking Big Mac meal and a Sonics ticket, bro. Tell me I'm lying, man. Master William will tell you. Facts. I mean,
you talking about the 2000s.
Look, Master William, facts. This was in the 2000s.
Had to be like the worst nosebleeders of all time.
No, but you didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish. This is what I'm saying. So when we would get them cheap ass tickets, they was nosebleed tickets. But in motherfucking Key Arena, it wasn't that big, right? Not only that.
That's a beautiful place to watch a game.
Not only that, it wasn't packed. So we could move down. And as long as we was ready to be, you might get kicked out, you might not. As long as we ready to move down, we could go down further.
The only way I could see that being possible is when Ray Allen and everybody got traded, Rashard Lewis left.
No, it was before that.
You got me there, because when they traded Peyton, they got Allen. Like, I can't even think of a stretch where they were even that bad.
Master William, who was on the team when we was getting those tickets? Man,
You're talking Peyton? Peyton was still on the team?
He's right here in the motherfucking comments, man. I'm telling you, man, this is what we used to.
I can't see the screen or nothing, so I can't see
bro, this is what we used to do. I don't know if it was a loophole or whatever it was, but them tickets, like he said, the attendance was down. It was so bad, we used to get a Big Mac meal and a Sonics ticket, bro. And
I
it was
would
like
believe
10,
that if that was when they were tanking, when Clay Bennett bought the team. But
no, it was before that.
Yeah,
I
man,
promise you, it was before
that
that.
had to be way before that.
It was before that. It was like
Sorry,
it was
Dre.
like early 2000s, man. Because you know how I remember.
Yeah.
I'm a basketball fan, but I ain't like you guys. I ain't on your level. But they had this cheerleader, bro, and she looked like she had a football helmet in her tights, man. It don't matter where you can see this motherfucker. I ended up getting fucking floor seats one time just to see that shit in person, man. I'm not lying, man. I told my wife about it. I told my wife at the time about this bitch. Like, I had to go home. Like, man, I went to the basketball game, and this girl's booty was so fucking big. And she got floor tickets for us, and we seen her in person. Like, we got to go back. Like, when it's halftime, you get to go through the tunnel and shit.
So let's just say this, man.
Hey, Master William, what? Call in, man. Fuck that. Call in, man.
Okay, so by the time they drafted Durant was when they
Durant wasn't there. Durant wasn't there.
Listen. So if you're talking about it was the early 2000s.
Durant wasn't there yet.
98, 99 was the lockout season. They went 25-25.
Okay.
After that, they had a winning season the next 3 years, 45-37, 44-38, 45-37. They made it to the playoffs in 2001, 2002. Then they went 40-42 and then 37-45.
Will, what year was that?
Happened, it had to have been 2003, 2004. I mean, even then, the next year they went 52-30 and they lost to the semis.
Hold on.
They lost in the semis.
We both know Will. Will, what year was that?
Man.
What year was that, bro? It was me,
94.
me, Clout Chaser, and Slice.
There's no way.
It was
Get
me.
a free nugget meal.
Bro, it was me, Clout Chaser, and Spice, man. A Slice. I'm telling you, I'm not lying, man. It was crazy, and that's
bewildering.
And
man.
then,
I mean,
because this is the thing, I had a gap between 2004 and 2006 to where I didn't see no basketball games in person. You know what I mean? So I know it was before that. By the time I was done with that gap, they were already on their way out. It was before that. So I know it was early 2000s.
I have a similar gap. I think it's because of all the accidents.
He said Ray was there. So Ray Williams.
damn.
Ray Allen was there. He said Ray was there. Yeah, man, they was giving away tickets like it was nothing, and nobody was at the games. I
Who
only
saw
said
Jordan's last game though at the Key Arena for the Wizards when he played for the Wizards. I did.
I saw Jordan. I saw Jordan at the.
That's tight.
Master Williams said I'm bad with years. I saw Jordan at the Kingdom, bro. I remember I fucking I bought a Slurpee. It's the craziest shit, man. I bought a Slurpee and I won some Sonics tickets, and I was all excited because they was playing the Bulls, but they played in the fucking Kingdom, bro. Like, I was young and I took my mom, and we couldn't see shit, bro. Like, that was the worst place to ever watch a basketball game. And the only reason they had it in the Kingdom because it was Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And it was, it was like a big event.
I mean, I don't know. Basketball is weird though in that regard because football tickets are crazy. I mean, I've seen baseball tickets still kind of stay low when they wanted to be. I remember we went and saw a Mariners game a couple years ago. Only had to pay like $12 a ticket. Yeah. But I don't know, man. That's crazy. The Sonics were loved by a very few many, and unfortunately, when it boils down to it, though, I could understand why I wouldn't want to pay $1 billion in taxes neither to have a sports team, because in reality, as entertaining as a team is, it's not worth it to get taxed up the ass just to have some team. Like, they're holding them hostage over you.
Bro, you know what I mean? If you was watching them motherfuckers on regular TV, no cable, when it was Sean Kemp and goddamn Gary Payton, you know what I'm saying? Gary throwing them lobs to Sean and shit like that. Like, everybody was excited those years. You know what I mean? Like, to lose a team not long after that. Man.
But we got local teams, and that's the thing, is that there's programs out there and there's history with the high schools and the colleges.
Yeah, and that's why we're here right now, man. That's why we're here right now with HIPAA, man.
That's what they say. People weren't paying for season tickets. They weren't paying for tickets. I was 14, and I know my parents weren't. But I'm just saying, like, there was no one's paying for tickets. That's what they said.
That's why we're here right now with HIPAA, man.
We got Donald Watts and Slick Watts still just doing camps. We got Kyrie Irving comes to Seattle to secretly work out with Jamal Crawford because Jamal got shit to teach him. You know?
Hey, bro, no lie. Jamal Crawford, he coached a 6th grade AAU team this season. Boy, man, he got What's the dude from UW?
Will Conroy's son.
Oh man, those dudes, man,
Smiley too. Gap Smiley, Roydell Smiley. His son is nice too. Legend Smiley, whatever it was.
Man, they were fucking balling, bro. And these fools will be with just Rotary. And that's what I'm saying. It's like there's programs that are so good. They're just the Boys and Girls Club and shit.
Well, Al Davies used to be that.
Yeah, exactly. Like these, it ain't nothing extra. This is literally the Boys and Girls Club. But one of my friends from Seattle was saying that for those tryouts, they be having like 300 kids show up. Damn. They get the best of the best, man.
Man, shout out to HIPAA, man. Like It or Not podcast, man. So HIPAA, man, how often do you guys have hoopers on your podcast? Like, is that like one of your things? I would imagine.
It should be, but it's not. Like, I tried to get my buddy Hiram on there, Hiram Fuller, but it hasn't worked
shout out to Hiram. I know Hiram.
It's like been like a 2-3 year ordeal trying to get Hiram in there and line it up with his schedule and ours.
But you've had some hoopers on there.
I mean, we've had, I could say Justin Holt, Leonard White, Chris Hippa, Ivy Smith, Senior. His son also left Wilson and went to Rainier Beach back in the day.
Hey, you know who'd be some good? You know who'd be a good ass guest would be what was them dudes that was from Bellarmine? Fucking man, yeah, dude, them guys from Bellarmine. And what's his name? The other guy. Yeah, bro, those guys, man. When they played for Bellarmine Prep, man, that was the ultimate fucking 1-2 punch, bro.
Dude, they were nuts, man.
That shit was bonkers. That was the same time Isaiah was at Curtis, and man, I seen him hang like 61 points on Franklin
in the dome.
Yeah,
man. Wearing the red Jordans. So
he was like fucking 5'6", balling on a whole team. Almost took out a whole team, man. And those guys went on to win state that year, I want to say.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Anyways, man, speaking of Tacoma, man, off of sports, man, we can talk about that all day.
The Like It or Not podcast is happy to be here right now.
Hey, man, shout out to Like It or Not podcast, man. Make sure to go follow them and whatnot, man. So we got some Tacoma guys on there. We got some Tacoma people on here, and then we got Burns and man, are you guys close to each other? Burns and Paul, you guys are pretty close to each other, right?
Yeah, I'm Linwood.
Okay, you Linwood and then Burns?
Yeah, Everett.
Okay. Are you guys seeing the same crime increase that we're seeing out here right now in Tacoma?
Well, I live in a nice, safe, white neighborhood.
Okay.
I mean, it's a diverse neighborhood, but it's different.
Yeah, okay, I feel you.
I mean, I work in Seattle, so I could tell you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely popping. But, you know, there's certain little areas, too. Like, Everett is a real tiny little cousin of Tacoma. And their population is so small. But they got a little spot that gets a little janky. But
I mean, I seen some shit in Everett, bro.
It ain't nothing like what Tacoma's talking about right now.
Yeah, man. Man, Hippa, what do you think, man? Like, you be out here, man. What do you think's contributing to this shit, man? I thought it was all of Washington, but maybe it's just my neighborhood.
Contributing to what?
This crime out here, man. This shit is crazy. Like tonight, man. Me and Hippa was out like trying to get live footage and go out and interview people on the streets, right? Mm-hmm. And as soon as we left where you was at, Burns, and went back to where we was going, it was like police had the shit shut down.
Oh damn!
We had no idea what happened.
Yeah, but we all know that more police doesn't necessarily mean more crime.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's just the thing is there's less cops and there's more crime, and the cops they're not getting respected by their own. I mean, like, it's to be a cop right now is, dude, you get fucking picked off at any moment. You know what I mean? People fucking hate you guys, and the sentiment's ringing, and now they're gonna raise your wages, and they're letting you guys know that you can do more shit physically when shit happens and you're there, because everyone's arguing about how they're just not doing anything at all. Like, but what can they do?
Why were they ever allowed to take it that far? I mean, they're officers.
We're not talking about taking it that far because we're not going to go all there because that's not, you know. But I mean, it is fuck the police and this is how it is. But like, you know, we got to realize that we don't want society to be a fucking just a mess and just.
I mean, now do you feel like that's a byproduct that attitude, like that sentiment you just said, fuck the police? How do you feel about it now? Do you feel like maybe we need the police back?
Yeah.
I want them out.
I'd like to have more
for the most part.
they're raising their
We need
kids
people who can
somewhere,
take
but-
care of people, not walk up with their fucking hand on a gun.
Oh, this is what I will say though, Paul. This is what I will say. Like the contrast, like just now you said that you live in a nice white neighborhood up in Linwood, right?
Yeah.
Where I live at in Tacoma, I never thought I would motherfucking say this in my fucking life. But sometimes I'll be wondering, like, where the fuck is the police at? Like, where are they at right now? Like, god damn, I done seen some shit. Man, I done seen motherfuckers laid out in the street bleeding. I must have went and got some
that's
shit from the
perfectly
went and got some shit from the
valid
store and
thing
then
to say
came
to me.
back and they was still in the street.
Bro, when I seen
Yeah.
the racers take over the intersection and do
Man.
endless donuts
Yeah, and that's
to the point where
frivolous.
the whole fucking block was foggy from smoke with
Yeah.
rubber
Yeah.
flying on windshields, man. I'm sorry, man. That shit was crazy. I was
Yeah.
like, where the fuck's the cops?
And that's the crazy part. That's frivolous shit. That's people having fun.
Oh,
or whatever.
totally.
But crime.
Well, that particular thing in Tacoma is a really bad deal. We have it right here because I'm in unincorporated Snohomish. I'm between all these cities.
Mm-hmm.
And so they know that there's no fucking sheriff around.
Oh.
Oh yeah, man. Like when I was
But I
driving
don't know
home
what's
tonight-
going on with Tacoma. I mean, that seems egregious.
Yeah, Tacoma's
Kids
crazy,
know that
man.
There's less cops too.
Yeah.
That's why.
But
it's
you know, we
happening
got
all the time,
99 up
you know?
here, and then the Buffalo
Yeah.
River Highway. You know, there's some
Yeah.
jankiness. There's
Yeah.
you know, it's mostly like petty shit though. There's nothing that's like too violent. Although they did have a Everett officer got shot and ran over by that dude recently. But that was kind of like the first of its kind. Out here, I think I agree with Paul because shit's real smaller population. Everybody's kind of spread out too. So I'd say the most thing you would ever see out here is like people being dicks and like trying to speed all crazy when they're all fucked up, trying to go like 100 miles per hour down the street
I think
and
for,
like low level shit.
I think for Tacoma's population, this motherfucker's out of control right now, man. Like this.
Yeah, a lot more than
Maybe I
speeding
need to
going
move
on.
up to where y'all live at, man.
A lot
Because
more
this
than
is
speeding
nuts out
going
here.
on.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I hear you, Paul. Yeah, it's nuts up here, man.
Yeah.
So back to sports, man. How y'all feel about the whole Russell Wilson situation,
yeah, back
man?
to sports. Is that finger healed up? Or
How
what?
y'all feel about this whole Seahawks thing, man?
Man, the quarterback position is going to be super important. It always is. But you know what? You get someone confident back there who can really distribute the ball, and you put him behind a line that will stop him from getting sacked every 5 seconds, which is what happened to Russell Wilson. I mean, yeah, that guy was just under assault every game. So if they can shore up that line, I think there's enough receiver and running back talent to have a pretty good season, better than last year for sure.
Now, Burns, we talked about this before. I remember you saying that Russell Wilson was too much of the budget.
Oh yeah.
You still feel that way? Like what
Oh,
Paul's saying,
absolutely,
like
man.
maybe they don't have the line they should have had because
Look, man, I think that the thing is Pete and John had a formula and it worked. And they wanted some studs through the draft. They wanted to mimic Belichick and the success they created in New England, right? They had their own style to it and it worked. And then they got caught up in the glamour. And you'll see it. It always happens to NFL teams because they get the sexy quarterback or the person who could put up all these monster numbers and they want to start paying them for what they might do after they're paying them for what they've done. And in the NFL, man, the average career is so short that you're not going to get somebody for 10 years, 5 years. The people like Russ are the exception to the rule. But the problem is if you pay them 50 million, 60 million, and you're putting this huge dent in your budget, that's not going to sustain success. Peyton Manning, Brady, they would give the Patriots and the Colts, they would give them discounts. You know, they didn't always have the highest salary. I saw that Brady would be restructuring his contract all the time. You know, Drew Brees would be restructuring his shit. He didn't have the highest. And I get it that you got to get
Russell
paid.
didn't want to come back, man.
What was that?
And Russell didn't want to come back.
I
He
think
didn't want to play
It
in
was pretty
Seattle.
clear. Yeah, it was pretty clear he didn't want to come back. But I think honestly that paying him the 40 mil, that was the beginning of the end. And when they started paying players, like they fucked up. They started trading away their first round picks. Like they weren't being smart with draft capital. They weren't trying to build the team with talent. Like when they had the Legion of Boom, man, their second stringers could come in and dominate. That ain't the case right now.
Yeah,
Bro,
exactly.
when the
That's
starter
a good-
goes down,
I mean, Pete Carroll and his staff are brilliant at finding draft picks later in the draft. But
Sure.
that's a high reward, high risk strategy. And it did not pay off for them in the last 2 to 3 years.
And because they was paying too much out to some of the top players. I mean, think about it, man. They started dishing out the money, and when teams start doing that, that's when the teams don't end up being full. And look at Belichick and them, man. They got Mac Jones on a rookie contract. They almost made the playoffs this year. They actually looked halfway decent, and that's only 2 years removed from Brady. They don't even look bad. And that's the thing, is because they maintained that formula. When some dude got all big for his bridges, was going to get the big payday, they'd let him walk. And we wanted to sit here and pay people. And I get it, because honestly, nobody in the whole planet deserved a big ass payday more than Bobby Wagner. That dude was the heart and soul of that fucking team. And he got
John
dumped.
Snyder one time.
That defense was just so good.
Can we get a fuck John Snyder real quick?
Yeah. Fuck John Snyder and Pete for doing that shit, because they got caught up, I think, in the offense is sexy shit, because everybody wants that offense that's going to wheel and deal and score the Patrick Mahomes shit. But not everybody got the Patrick Mahomes team.
Russ Wilson was fantastic out of the pocket. But the problem is they gave him no pocket to begin with. So he was just on the run. And, they lost a bunch of offensive linemen after the first Super Bowl, and then even more after the second one.
Dude, think about it. They traded fucking Max Unger, who was an all-pro center, for Jimmy Graham, who was catching glamour passes from Drew Brees in New Orleans in a dome. And they brought him up to the soggy Northwest. Now, what kind of scouting was that, man? And then he tore his ACL like a season or two later. Man, dude, we had damaged goods at that point. And Graham has still kind of turned out a later renaissance in his career, but what is he, like a possession receiver now? He'll catch the touchdown down in the red zone.
He was always a possession receiver. He just scored some touchdowns.
Yeah, but he used to be able to dash on him in New Orleans. But that's what I mean, is that in the NFL, it's different than the NBA or the MLB. I don't really think that you can buy an all-star team. The Eagles tried to do it that one year where they got the Raiders cornerback. They had Mike Vick. They had Deshaun Jackson. They had the one dude, Shady. Was it McCoy? And they had a squad. And it was like, oh, my God, the Eagles are going to go all the way. And they went like fucking 6-10.
I don't know what the context is, but Master Williams said trash.
You have to elaborate on that, Master William. Either way, a lot of people Russ is a sentimental figure to a lot of people. People want to hold on to their quarterback forever and ever, and I get that. But the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. If he wanted $75 million to stay in Green Bay or else, let his ass fucking walk. Put Jordan Love in the game. You could spend your money on a whole team instead of one player. Still in Green
Bay. He didn't walk. He's still in Green Bay.
Master Williams said Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy. Yeah. Well, wait, what was you saying, Paul?
I don't remember. Who the hell is Jimmy?
Jimmy Graham.
Oh. So we're about...
No. Master William was saying Jimmy Graham was trash. But you said Aaron's still in Green Bay, right?
Yeah, isn't Rodgers?
Yeah, he is. But what I mean is, he is, but he ain't getting like $75 million a year. That's what I mean. Is like if he asks for something outrageous, like there's no way. Like you just got to let him go at some point. And it's fucked up too, because you know what? They're saying that same shit about Lamar Jackson right now, and I think that's fucked up, because Lamar Jackson definitely earned some kind of a big payday. But
Rodgers can make different decisions too, because he's got those endorsement contracts. Right? I don't know. I mean, I guess Mahomes is the color of the last shade colored before. You can't have someone from the NFL on a commercial.
Well, I mean, man, I mean, shit, what's crazy is hey, Slap, are you aware of Deshaun Watson getting traded to the Browns?
I'm not aware of anything sports, man. But actually, everybody, man, welcome to the preview of Wii Sports, man. We need a sports show, man. I think y'all the perfect motherfuckers to do this Wii Sports shit, man.
Well, hey, man, come on, Slap. You'll actually be interested in this. So Deshaun Watson, his background, his story. He missed last year.
All I know is massage parlors, bro. Yeah, you would have to elaborate on anything else.
Maybe he might like happy endings. I don't know what red-blooded American doesn't, but we know Robert Kraft doesn't mind those. But what I'm saying is Deshaun Watson's contract he signed was fully guaranteed. and that's like a first. And so that is gonna fuck up a lot of shit for the NFL. If that becomes the norm, I mean, did you know, Slap, that contracts in the NFL ain't guaranteed? So they could cut you tomorrow and you ain't getting paid?
You said
The
contracts
NFL
aren't
is definitely
guaranteed?
the most brutal sport as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, bro. So like when they sign a contract, it's not guaranteed. So that means that if the shit doesn't pan out, they can cut you at any time. You ain't getting paid.
And and then you literally stop getting paid.
Are you with us, Slap?
Stepped out for a minute.
Oh, damn, that made him step out. Hey, obviously, Slap Yarmulkes does not have any interest in sports. I don't get it, though, because every time I'm at his house, he always has some kind of a sport game on the TV. Am I wrong, Hip?
There's a game on right now.
That's what I'm saying every single time. Or we're watching a boxing match or the basketball game. Hey, Hip, who you going for right now in the Final Four, man? Who you calling right now? UNC Duke.
I've already had Duke since the beginning. I knew it wasn't Gonzaga's year. Like, they've had like some of the better teams ever in college basketball history. Like, to be honest, like the past like couple of years. Not saying last year, but like Gonzaga has had some super powerful teams. Fuck their conference. I know it's weak, and that's the only hard part. That's why they schedule all the tough non-conference games. But this year, I knew it wasn't their year. Not that I knew it and I didn't fucking pick them. I just didn't think that they had it.
They just didn't seem very glamorous or something.
I mean, like, they just didn't seem like the dudes, like, they were killers. Like, they weren't buying into Mark Few's shit. I don't know what it was. Like, maybe they never had a star. They're, like, the only dude that was really, like, 5-star. I'm not saying that, but, like, Holmgren was one of the only cats they really had. Like, everybody else, I was like, who are you motherfuckers?
Yeah.
I mean, not like that, but I mean, like...
What about Villanova, Kansas?
They're a good team. I mean, like Villanova, dude. Jay Wright's coaching you. You got kids that buy in. You don't got many one and doneers over there.
Villanova's gonna win that game and maybe by 15.
Think so?
Like I said,
they're very deep. They got experience with Kansas doesn't. My main concern is that Duke should be burned in the fire of the heat of the sun.
Wait, hold on. Say that again. Your phone kind of skipped out.
I want Duke to be consumed in a fire as hot as the sun.
God damn.
So you want the Tar Heels to whoop that ass?
Oh, for sure, man. That'd be sweet.
Oh man. So okay,
Krzyzewski can go fuck himself. He's a pretentious ass and always has been. I want him out. No title for that dude.
Yeah, okay, so you're going UNC Villanova, and then who you got in the championship game? Like,
I got Nova there, man.
Nova? How about you, Hip? You're going Duke, and then who are you picking for Kansas Villanova?
Oh, Kansas, easy, dude.
Kansas? Okay, so you're going Duke, Kansas, a little old school matchup. Well, who you going in the game? Duke?
It's going to be Duke, Kansas, and it's going to be like, and Duke's going to win because Paulo fucking Banchero, like, who's going to stop him on fucking Kansas? Is there one player they're going to throw numerous guys at him? Because Paulo Banchero is only a freshman, but he's the best player in the nation. Is there another better player in the nation? 9 through 12, or is there another better player in the nation right now? Dead serious. Anybody tell me a name? College basketball wise.
I couldn't even tell you.
I couldn't tell you, but I know that one guy's not going to win that fucking game.
Oh no, for sure not. I'm just saying, like, and he's not even like that. That's why they're gonna win, is because he knows what he can do. He doesn't do what he can't do, and that's it. Done. Duke's got it, bro. Like, it's not easily gonna win.
I don't know. I love the experienced teams, the guys that have been there before, and have stuck it out. It frustrates me to no small deal that there's so many one and done. So many transfer portal players.
Yeah.
And that's okay, man. They should monetize and do whatever the fuck they need to do to make their lives better. But at Oregon for basketball, we've been tremendously successful, and I don't know the names of any of the students.
Yeah, Oregon's had a tough last couple of years. I don't like their coach. Whatever. We're not even talking about that.
Hey,
I love Dana Altman wins the shit. So great, awesome. But the Final Four team, I knew those dudes because they were there the year before.
I got one for you. Did you guys know that Governor Inslee has declared pickleball to be the state sport of Washington?
Yes.
Well, I get out on the pickleball court.
Wait, where'd that come
pretty
from,
often.
bro?
That's real.
They don't like that I'm certain off.
Fuck up, man.
I swear to God, that shit was news today.
Man, you trying to kill Wii Sports in the first night, man?
Oh, man, we're just saying it's a lifetime sport. Slap,
Right,
like we can get out on
pickleball.
that pickleball court. I feel like Slap. I can see you with those high cut socks, like the old
Man,
school ones that have the stripes on the top.
You know what? You're right, man. PE class, man. Shout out to Mr. Spice, man. We
With
played
a
the fuck out of
headband,
pickleball back
like
then.
you'd have
man.
a mean ass pickleball game, Slap. I feel like you'd be competitive.
You know what's crazy? You know what fucked us up back in the day? Our PE was too broad, bro. Our PE was too broad.
Wait,
so
you
like,
had two broads teaching PE?
no, way shit. Damn, we damn near had two
Hey,
men, man. Shout out to Miss
all right.
Church. But look, our shit was too broad. So like one week you come in and then you're playing basketball, right? Then the next week you come in and then it's floor hockey. And then one week you come in and there might be that little horse that they be having in the Olympics. What's that shit called?
The horse.
It's like you jump off the you jump off the bouncy thing, and then the one with the strong motherfuckers, a pommel horse. I think it's called a pommel horse.
Pommel horse.
What is that?
It's gymnastics. It's gymnastics. I believe it's called a pommel horse.
Pommel horse?
How do you not know that?
What I'm saying is, we had.
Fuck?
Wait, hold on.
What school did you go
Slice
to,
said
man?
I went to McElvey, bro. Slice said I'm the best at pickleball. I almost beat Spice. Like we had the general PE, right? We didn't have those specialized teams and shit like how kids got AAU and all that type of shit now, and then they got all these little football teams and shit like that. When I first moved here, they didn't have none of that shit, man. We just had whatever PE was, and then it was like the boys clubs. There was like, you know what I mean? And it was too broad. I feel like these kids now, it's so specialized. Like, you know what I mean? Like you a little dude. Like my kids was in football since they were little.
And I will say I got lucky as fuck because I was 9 years old and I played for Red Rock.
Are they still playing?
We were sponsored by Red Rock.
Hell no, man. They never got big.
Man, that's random shit though.
My kids look like toothpicks. You know what I mean? They never got big, but they were playing that sport since they were little. Like when I grew up, there wasn't a money incentive for kids to play any particular sport. Now it's like that's just an industry. Like AAU and all that shit, that's money. You know what I mean? You go there, they're selling hot dogs. They got a bunch of Samoan moms. They might be selling plates. Like there's all type of shit going on, man. Football to basketball. And I pay for it now.
It's the whole industry.
Yeah, I pay to put my kids into the sports somehow. Like I don't feel like we had that when I was young.
The real game, like I coached, little league t-ball. Those kids were too young to stand around in the field and do anything.
Mm-hmm. But they still had to pay to play, right?
We had, for sure. It's little league, so everything is handed up to God and.
Do we?
Paul, you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, what'd you say now? You said.
I'm not sure if I should be. Man, I really didn't like Little League at all. The organization has what they had the kids do, right? I mean, I don't understand what any of this has to do with religion or whatever. It's baseball.
But they made the kids go to church and play baseball? What happened?
No, there's a pledge they have to do before every game.
Oh,
wait. Whoa. Who was that? What was the league with? What was the league?
Little League.
It was actual Little League? Oh, okay. It's funny, man.
Whole organization.
Hey, no shit this year. I was coaching my kids' YMCA team, my youngest, and they made the kids start doing a pledge because the parents was going crazy. And and the players too, right? And no lie, they did a pledge in the last game, and in the last game, the other coach got fucking ejected.
Here's the Little League pledge
crazy,
for you,
bro.
And they make the kids say it before every game. I trust in God. I love my country and will respect its laws. I will play fair and strive to win. But win or lose, I will always do my best.
Like I say, I just bring people in and out, man. We talk about whatever. We do this all the time.
You got a problem with them saying you trust in God?
My bad.
So you don't like how they say you trust in God?
Well, why is that the first thing that's on there?
I mean, why the
Baseball game.
I mean,
Played by kids of all religions.
I mean, sure, God is God. Allah. What do they say? What's other words for God? I mean, I don't know. Like, I hear you. I do think that sometimes our society kind of just over stresses about those things. Like, everybody, there's a lot of religions. They all believe in God. What do you want to call them?
Well, it's exactly the same. And I'm going to open up a goddamn Pandora's box here. The national anthem before every sporting event. What a dumb thing to do.
Well, but that's political agenda shit happening. I mean, you could go to any country, and they got it. They're all gonna do that. That's default. I mean, shit. Think about it. That pushes their governmental propaganda. You got to say the national anthem before every sporting event because we're allowing this shit to fucking happen, and we'll shut this shit down if y'all motherfuckers act a certain way. We'll shut this shit down ASAP. No more sports. Do you know how many people would lose their fucking minds? But there's also a lot of patriotism that goes into that too, and you got to be careful on how you look at that because there's a whole lot of veterans out there that done serve the country, and when you start that Pandora's box, I think you know what I'm talking about. Is that's
including my father and Pat Tillman, who are both atheists.
That you got to pay respect because these people done sacrificed their lives. They done made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, and that's what we're being. That's the line. And so, how can you go against that? That's a tough one to debate.
I don't know. Everybody's got their God. I just believe in one less than everybody else. But why do you need to say this before you play a baseball game?
I know, like little kids. I got you. I don't know, Slap. What do you think about the national anthem and saying a pledge before a game?
I'm the wrong person to ask because actually I've lived my life to where I don't have to do none of that. You know what I mean?
Well, what do you think about? I mean, it happens before the Super Bowl, before every game. I mean, what do you think?
Do you think I watch the Super Bowl and every game at the beginning? I don't care about that type of shit.
You know what I do know? You watched. You know what I know you did watch, Slap? You watched the motherfucking divisional playoffs because we did halftime shows about it.
Yeah, we did.
So fuck you.
But you know what? That type of shit like this. What you guys are talking about, like the things before the game and all that shit, I get it, man. That's the system that you came into. You know what I mean? And if that's a system that you bought into, then of course, man, I'm all about playing by the rules of the game that you're playing, right? And if that's a part of it, you have to accept it. Me, myself, the difference with me, like my pops was military, right? And he was like a person that went into the military fresh as an adult. And he told me early on, like, man, this shit is all bullshit. You know what I mean? Because he got forced to conform early. And he drilled that into me young, like, never conform. You know what I mean? Like, the only true freedom is to be you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not saying, like, don't seek knowledge and don't whatever, but you take all of this shit and then you form your own opinion with it, man. And my pops was like...
some of us are free to live on their own than others. But, putting this propaganda and then same with the national anthem and Kaepernick. Why? I mean, people are like, why is he kneeling? You realize that the hot dog guy hasn't knelt or stopped doing what he's doing. The whole world doesn't stop when the national anthem starts. Such a ridiculous thing.
Well, yeah, man. I think that goes, we start going down that rabbit hole. It's tough because he was a scapegoat for a lot of debate that was unnecessary. A lot of people, they're easy to distract. And sometimes when you think about it, people are trying to make a statement and then the statement gets smeared. And that's what happened. His kneeling became a debate versus the armed forces and the sacrifices they make, which that wasn't his point. And then it became Black Lives Matter versus Blue Lives Matter with the police, which
when
that's
that was
not
never
the
what
point.
nothing
That's
was
not
about,
the point
yeah.
in none of that shit. And that's the problem, is that the message was a tiny little message in a bottle that should have never become this huge distraction debate. And that's the thing that sucks. It's kind of sad. It's sad about our society, in my opinion, because we are so easily manipulated as a mass. Now, individually,
but
we're
the
not.
manipulation is what you guys were. I could feel you pulling away from what I was saying. But you understand that is all of that is part of what makes us say that thank you for your service to a guy who joined the military voluntarily. So he doesn't. I don't know whether he's a good guy or not.
Oh, okay. I was like lost for a second. Yeah, I don't say that to people like me, because I know for a fact, man. Most dudes I know that joined the military just wanted the Dodge Charger. You know what I mean? Like they just wanted to get out of whatever retarded situation they were in. Like my pops was actually one of those people from the era to where you had a choice to go to the military or go to jail. And then he was actually smart enough to be able to go into the military and go to the Air Force. And then it changed his life. Like I've been trying to tell my son, like, that's probably the quickest way to being middle class. You know what I mean? Like the military, the one thing about that's the quickest way to be middle class, right? You go into the military, and if you do it right and you have your mind right, you can turn that into middle class. Like, bam, you made that decision overnight. Overnight, you're going to be good. You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
But there's still plenty of motherfuckers that don't take that shit in account and don't take advantage of the benefits and whatever, and they just look at it the wrong way and they just put themselves in debt. Next thing you know, you got this angry motherfucker, you know what I mean, that still has an obligation to the country. And I think that's where a lot of that shit comes from. Like, I don't say thank you for your fucking service, because most of them didn't serve. You know what I mean? I remember one time, man, I was hanging out with some friends, and we had this one dude, he was a real patriot, and he just kept talking about the time he served. And I think he got deployed to like Afghanistan or something like that, right? And he was like, he's just patriot, this country. And my other friend, actually, whose house we were at, he came home from work. And I asked him, I said, hey man, how you feel about the military? And oh boy, without any background, and they didn't know each other, he said, man, fuck the military. And old bro called him he called him an infidel. He was like, you're a fucking infidel. And dude asked him, he said, man, what was your MOS? Like, what'd you do in the military? And he told him, like, I don't know the military technical terms, but he told him what he did. And he said, so basically you filled up gas. And he told that dude, said, bro, I was fucking point on, I kicked in doors. You know what I mean? Like, I was infantry. I went and kicked people's doors in and killed people that I feel bad about. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I've killed kids. Like he broke down and really had to tell him, like, I've done shit that makes me say fuck the military. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of gas men out here. I'm not going to thank a gas station attendant for their service. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't do shit.
Yeah, you don't know who they are.
Yeah,
they're wearing fucking uniform.
I don't have the time to distinguish you and what you did or not.
Well, I mean, hey, Slap, let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
If the point man needed to drive to the door to kick in and kill the kid, did he need gas in the car?
Wait, hold on. Let me finish. I'm not going to thank my friend to kick the door in either. I'm not going to kick.
So
I'm not going to thank my friend to kick the door in either. I don't, man. What does that do for me?
It's not really about thank, man. I mean, if you think about it, man, it just goes to show you.
It's just
how
something that you say. It's just something that you say. Now, what if I felt like you need to thank me for something? Because I feel like I've been of service to this country.
Yeah, man, I thank you every day. Man, come on, man.
Who thanks us for paying taxes?
Slap.
Who thanks us for paying taxes?
We thank each other for paying taxes.
But we don't.
Just wonder why Bezos doesn't. And these other assholes are richer than the fucking...
Not to shit on people in the military, man. I love all of my people in the service.
You said Pops had to either choose between going to jail or joining the military, right?
Yeah.
And I think that hey, and rest in peace, by the way.
Rest in peace to my Pops, man.
That happened to my dad. But it was before Vietnam, so he got sent to Germany.
Yeah.
And he had a dreadful time doing a lot of scrubbing of pots, and he was always in trouble. That was why he was there. Yeah. They said, you go to the army or you go to jail.
Yeah.
Hey,
And like,
a lot of people probably have that choice they have to make, and honestly, you can't blame them for choosing the military. Maybe it helped them clean up their life. You never know, man.
just like Trey said, man. If you keep your shit together, it's a guaranteed way into the middle class.
Well, also, I feel like the military contributed to my dad's condition, man, because the one thing about it is my pops was in the Air Force, and the job that he did in the Air Force, he always went to remote locations with radars and shit like that. And he ended up with a brain condition, right? So, there's shit, man. I don't know how we got on this motherfucking subject. It's kind of dear to me, man. I love the.
Oh, I love derailing you, dude.
Yeah. No, I fucking love. I love everybody, man. I don't have no hate for nobody, man. If you want to go in the military, go in the military and shit like that. But I also respect the people that had a bad experience with it, and
that's exactly the right way. These are just people just like us. We all serve in our own way, right? If we're doing our citizenship right.
Yeah. No, I mean we all motherfucking contribute to this country, man. So
nobody thanks me for my service of pushing my penis up against the bus window.
Paul, I get patriotism too, and I get thanking people and all that. I just don't do it because I don't talk to people like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't thank strangers for nothing, man. I hate the fact that motherfucking DoorDash makes me give a tip. Like, sometimes they take my food to the wrong place and I've already given a tip, man. I hate that shit, man. Why do I gotta give you a fucking tip for some shit? DoorDash should give you the tip. They the ones fucking making $1 billion off this motherfucking shit.
Yeah, and you know that everybody who's bringing that shit is fucking desperate for money, or they wouldn't be doing it.
Hey, man, we need to talk about that since you want to get derailed, man. How many times have you ordered DoorDash and the girl that showed up, you just couldn't understand? Like, God damn it, nobody married you. Like, how the fuck did you end up doing DoorDash, bitch? You're beautiful. Look, do HoreDash. Do HoreDash. Go sell some pussy, goddamn it. What the fuck is you doing with your life, man? I've had some fucking beautiful motherfucking DoorDash drivers, and I just couldn't figure out how that bitch ended up doing DoorDash. I almost feel like there's a conspiracy. Like, if you tip the top tip, she might stick around a little bit longer.
Tip the top tip?
No, we're talking about DoorDash, man. We got derailed, man. Get off that military shit. But yeah, no. Have you ever had a DoorDash driver show up and she was just like absolutely gorgeous?
Man, a couple of times.
Yeah, how the fuck do bitches like that end up doing DoorDash?
Because they stupid.
We talk about our country failing us, man. Yo, the men have failed you, bitch. What happened?
Like maybe she's motivated, man. She's trying to make money.
Yeah, learn how to code. Somebody's giving you the wrong information, goddamn.
Why haven't you done computer science?
Nah, because if I was a prostitute, this is what I would do. This is how slick I am, right? I would join like a coding camp or wherever those people congregate. You know what I'm saying? Tech people and shit like that. I would join one of those groups and act like I really wanted to learn and shit. But then I would just leave little hints. You know what I mean? To the motherfuckers in tech.
You become the coding source gang's hoe.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, it's coding 202, man. Thursdays down at the clubhouse.
Get the nerds all worked up and then act like you about to leave. You know what I mean?
Have a whole stable waiting for them. Dude, that's money right there. Yeah. Hey, that's free advice. Yeah. That's the free advice of the show.
Man. I've met prostitutes that say,
well, it's worth exactly how much you're charging.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all about the circles that you in too. It's all about the circles you're in too. Because I've met some retarded ass prostitutes. Like, I've met some that say, "Oh, we don't do black men." Right? It's like, oh, okay, I kind of get that because niggas will try to talk you down. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not paying full price for nothing. But then there's some I've met some that was like, "Oh, I don't do white guys." I'm like, "Bitch, what the fuck are you? You're hustling backwards." Like.
There's more to it about why some will say the opposite.
Well, why is that? Let's talk about it. Fuck it, man.
You know why? Nah, it's not.
We went from college basketball to the military. Now we're on horse. Tell me why they say they won't, because they don't tell me. Maybe they told you, but I don't have this information.
Because, man, they're scared that you might be a. They're scared that you might be a pimp,
sort of a level of board.
Right? Oh, they take their bitch.
Nobody.
Because they know that the majority of the customers are not black, right? So the pimps know this, so they'll say, don't fuck with no African Americans because they think that you might be trying to take over.
Oh
the game. You might be trying to take over the game.
I mean, I don't know.
It's kind of a smart move. Like somebody told me that one time, and I was like, "No way, I don't believe you." That's
makes sense.
And the more I thought about it, I was like, "Man, makes sense."
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I'm not saying I agree with it or not. I'm just saying it makes sense.
I mean,
and that's kind of like what I was saying about the slap shit with Chris Rock. Is that I don't agree with it.
Are we talking about that tonight?
No, we're talking about everything. I'm just saying in multiple layers, man. This is the multiverse.
Hey, Paul, how do you feel about what happened at the Oscars the other night, man?
Well, I'm as predictably as possible. I'm pacifist, so I don't think there's really a reason to hit somebody because you told a shitty joke about your wife.
Yeah.
But it was a shitty joke.
I mean, it was a shitty joke. It wasn't a shitty joke as far as it was cruel or whatever. It was just a bad joke. Like, it wasn't funny.
Who the fuck knows what G.I. Jane is besides me? I'm fucking 53 and I have no life. So.
Yeah, it just wasn't funny. And that's one thing about Chris Rock, man. Like, he's like old school. You know, like he's just an old dude. And he's always kind of been a little bit corny. You know what I mean? Like, and I get that, bro. I don't feel like he meant any real harm because if he was like
totally agree.
If he was a harmful type comedian, he would have said something way worse in current. He hit her with a light jab, like, "Oh, G.I. Jane, man." You know what I mean?
I wonder if he even knew.
I bet he didn't know because I didn't know. It's people on the internet like, he knew. How the fuck are we supposed to know about her skin conditions? I don't care if she put it on TV. We do this podcast like 3 times a week. Nobody knows what the fuck we're doing. She's more famous than us. But maybe celebrities don't maybe celebrities don't pick up their phone and watch celebrity shit. I can see that.
Will laughed at it himself and then looked at his wife and went, "Oh shit, I better do something."
But that's the thing that's scary because how could you say for sure what Chris Rock knew? Like, is he supposed to know about the hair follicles of every motherfucking woman in Hollywood? And
maybe he knew more than he's revealing. Maybe he knows dirt.
He's
maybe
not revealing shit.
Maybe that was a clown.
You notice he hasn't said anything.
You never know. Maybe he came out and said some little secret name that they were saying about her laughing together. Like, say me and you, Slap. Say me and you. We're talking on the phone, and I come up with a funny nickname.
Hey, wait. Mind you, we're both follically challenged. To keep it in context.
All right. Well, I mean, not even.
Well, and I gave my cues, so.
And this breaking news just here. Wiiradio. Paul shaves his balls.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, shit. Smooth as the baby's butt down there.
Smooth as a baby's butt.
I like Paul being on, man.
It's like the hospital blanket you come home with. You'll never want to leave it. All right. What was we talking about again?
God damn it. See,
Slap heard round the
you were about to tell me about Chris Rock knowing if she had alopecia.
Yeah, man. Say we was like, we're doing our thing. We're talking on the phone. I was going to say friends because I feel like you don't love me anymore. But no, I'm just clowning. Say, we're talking on the phone. I come up with a little funny nickname for my girl, right? You're my boy. And I know Will Smith and Chris Rock probably ain't. But you never know. What if they was talking, they had some funny little rhetoric or something, and then he comes up with some little joke about her, and then he takes that same name and then uses it on stage. There could something like that. Maybe not as intense, but maybe there's some kind of interaction they had.
You know what the problem?
Some history.
You know what the problem with what you're saying is right now, though?
What?
This is what people are doing. Everyone that feels some type of way about that shit, like that feels the other way, they're all making up scenarios that we really don't fucking know. You have to say, "Oh, say like this happened or say like that happened." We saw exactly what happened. This motherfucker went up on stage and assaulted somebody. We have the black and white right in front of our fucking face. It's not right. We don't have to make up hypotheticals.
Hold on.
We don't have to make up hypotheticals for bad behavior.
Because I don't like the word assault. Did that look like an assault?
Hey, let me tell you something, bro. I slapped somebody just like that, bro.
Wait,
and I went to jail. Hold on. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
No, all I'm saying is it's the textbook definition
of assault. I've slapped someone just like that, and guess what I went to jail for?
What?
Assault. And it was a misunderstanding. I went to Denny's, and the waiter tried to tell me I had to pay for my food before I left, and he grabbed my arms. It was like, "No, you can't leave till you pay for your food." Thing about it is, I never ate any food. I didn't have a bar tab. I didn't have a tab nowhere in Denny's. I came to see my friends, and then I went to walk out, and he grabbed my arms, and of course, I slapped him. Like, man, get the fuck out of my face. I got an assault charge for that. And I felt justified. I was not. I didn't think it was assault. I think I was fighting back against the motherfucker that grabbed my arms and tried to stop me from leaving somewhere. And it was assault.
It wasn't ever his job to stop you like that, for sure.
No, but what I'm saying is it's definitely an assault.
You got convicted of assault for throwing your arm away from somebody trying to grab you?
I threw my arm, but I didn't throw it away. I threw it towards him because he was holding my arms. You know what I mean? Like,
did you give him a good one?
I felt like I was matching his energy.
Did you punch him or did you slap him?
No, I slapped him. But
you open hand?
Yeah, because it wasn't like me and him. Hold on, no, Burns, listen, hear me out. It wasn't like me and him got into an argument beforehand, right? He's catching me on the way out, right? And it's in my mind, it's a misunderstanding. Hey, bro, no, I didn't order any food. Like, I don't have a tab. Show me where my receipt is that I have to pay. And he's just still squeezing my arms. I'm like, hey, man, leave me the fuck alone. Everybody else is paying. I don't owe you shit. Leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Like,
vigilante bullshit.
And then he didn't want to take his arms off of me, so I took them off of him manually. And I caught an assault charge for a slap. So that's an assault. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. I guess a slapping can be considered an assault.
Anytime you put your hands on someone like that. It's just too bad
that society is that easy these days. Like
but
that.
Why was he so easy? Why was he so easy to walk up there and do that? A joke.
Because he's fucking Will Smith. Security didn't stop him because he's a celebrity. They thought it was part of the fucking show.
My wife's mouth name out of your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
That shit was all bogus.
He went up there with a purpose.
Yeah.
To show his wife.
Yeah,
he was defending her on.
So, and what are you doing? You're asserting your dominance not only for your wife but for all of everybody to see.
Bro, have you ever seen New Jack City?
One man against the world.
Have you ever seen New Jack City?
Yeah.
Do you know how small and skinny Chris Rock is, bro? That was damn near domestic violence. You know what I mean? Like, have you? Hey, look, and you know what? I didn't remember this before this whole incident happened. There was an episode of Fresh Prince where Chris Rock was dressed up like a woman. And there was some type of shit like Chris Rock is a woman. Stop. And no, there is. Go look it up. Chris Rock played the woman on the Fresh Prince.
About it.
That was fucking domestic violence, bro. Will Smith should have at least got a citation. Something. You know what I mean?
She got a temporary no contact order.
And when you said that it has to be something, like everyone's like, it's got to be something else. It's got to be something deeper. He must have did something else. Yeah. I think Chris Rock.
Oh my goodness.
I think Chris Rock knows shit that Will Smith don't want him to say at the next Grammys. You know what I mean? Like if
Chris
I let you
wearing a leopard print dress.
Yes, but I think
it appears he's got some knockers.
My new theory is that Chris Rock knows shit about Will Smith that he don't want him to say at the next Oscars. My bad, at the next Oscars. So first he said the little shit in 2016, right? That was nothing. He shrugged that off. Then he said that little shit this time, and then in Will Smith's head, he's like, "Wait, what is this motherfucker gonna say next? Like he knows too much about me. Like you know what I mean? Maybe they had a moment on set. Who knows?"
Yeah, he didn't know. I mean, why would Rock say? I mean, honestly, why would Rock say that in that way? He just doesn't seem like that kind of dude.
Yeah, man. After I saw that picture of Chris Rock in that leopard skin, hugged up on Will Smith, I knew it was something else. There's something.
Yeah, I still do it.
There's something more there. He's projecting something, man. There's something going on, man. There's something going on between those two, man. We'll never find out.
So you
man.
think there's a secret love triangle? Oh no, not a triangle. That'd be kind of like.
But guess what?
Well, Will Smith's wife is already fucking around on him.
That's why I think it's something else and there's a secret going on because Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, right? And we haven't heard from him since. So whatever it was that he was trying to make him stop doing, it worked. You know what I mean?
He didn't. Who didn't show up?
No, I'm saying we haven't heard from Chris Rock since. Man, if you slap me and then I don't fight you back, at the very least, I'm going to talk shit about you when they put the cameras in my face. We ain't heard shit from Chris Rock. I think Will Smith slapped a secret out of Chris Rock. Chris Rock had more information in his head. He knew something else. And Will Smith had to fucking go into, you know what I mean? That was an emergency slap. Like, hey, this motherfucker, no, man.
If you think in sort of these terms, I mean, Rock's career has sort of been on the decline. He wasn't the host. He was just some dude who walked out and presented an award for best documentary.
Well, Paul, let me ask you this, because I've heard a lot of people say what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Any type of fucking job at the Oscars, Chris Rock is not going anywhere anytime soon. Even if his career was on a, but what I'm saying is, even if his career was on a decline from its heyday, that's still prestigious for him to present anything. The presenters, that's still a big thing. So I've heard a lot of people, like, the first thing when we first talked about it, people were like, well, what's Chris Rock's net worth versus Will Smith's net worth? And
man, you was asking that question, man. Come on.
No, it wasn't me. It was somebody else.
We were all.
So look, we looked up the net worth, and then Chris Rock is worth like $70 million. How the fuck are we gonna make him seem like a peon compared to Will Smith? Like, okay.
Like, Chris Rock makes 70 billion. Oh well, Will Smith makes 350 billion.
Yeah, like, meanwhile, I make under $100,000 a year.
Yeah,
like,
man,
I'm a fucking
$17.50 an hour. Man.
I'm a piss spec to these motherfuckers. Like, man, it ain't about that. You know, like,
man.
Hey, man. Yeah, no, I think there's some secrets going on, because he slapped Chris Rock into silence. Like, I see it different now, because after all these days have went by, I would have said something by now, bro. Like, at least some threats or something. I would have got on Twitter. That's the first thing I would have did. Motherfucker, you get here. Meet me over here. Like, something. All right,
or he knew he fucked up, and that's why he ain't saying shit.
He didn't fuck up, though, Hippa. How did Chris Rock fuck up in that instance?
It's not a roast. It's the award show.
Nope. Bullshit. They always roast people at the award shows.
Things are always roast.
They always roast people at the Oscars, bro. That's the one thing about me is I watch award shows. I want to be in entertainment, right? So I'm fully engulfed in entertainment. I watch award shows. They always do that shit, man. They always talk a little bit of shit. If you really pay attention, he was just talking about another couple before he talked about Will and Jada. He was just going down the line. He told old boy, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's hoping that she loses, blah, 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 because he don't want to have to go home with her. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was just another couple.
It wasn't even funny.
It wasn't funny either. But he's going through the couples. He already set the precedent. I'm talking about couples. So when people say, don't say nothing about my wife, he already said something about somebody else's wife, and he didn't do nothing, right? And
as a producer, you got to look at that and go, what the fuck? You clearly sent him out there without any material.
Yeah, and not to mention, man, when people say protect your wife's honor and shit like that, making a hair joke, bro. People clown LeBron James every fucking day about his hairline, man. People clown. I remember one time I sat on the floor. Of the Sonics game, I clowned the shit out of Ray Allen, man. It was motherfucking Calvin Booth, and then Cisse was sitting right in front of me where I was at. And I tapped one on the shoulder. I was like, hey, man, y'all need to tell Ray Allen to go ahead and cut the rest of his hair off, because he had like a bald spot. It was like right here, man. If you look back, you'll see it, man. It's right before he cut it all off. And the motherfucker looked at me. He's like, man, you got money like that to be saying that? And I was like, no, but I got that type of hairline. You know what I'm saying? I'm still joking and shit, man. Motherfucking sensitive ass Ray Allen comes over, and I'm sitting behind the basket, like where the bums sit. And he came and turned around and looked at me like, he sat down and looked at me like, and waited for me to say something. And of course, I didn't say nothing, nigga. I'm bitch ass me. I'm not about to say shit to Ray Allen directly. But the fact that it bothered him, I get that people's feelings is fragile, but motherfucker, you're a public figure. You're a public figure.
What a strange thing for him to do.
But what I'm saying is, you're going to get talked about as a public figure. If you're not cut out for it, get the fuck out of it, man. Don't come to the fucking Oscars. Don't go to comedy clubs. Don't go anywhere, because you're sensitive. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, Will's been going through this and Will's been going through that. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. I don't.
Why can't I remember Brown's first name? He played for the Browns.
Antonio?
And he was a running back who was awesome and then left.
Oh, Jim Brown?
Jim Brown, yeah. Didn't sit Barry Sanders. Played really well and then quit before he was nothing.
Yeah, fucking 9 years.
There was no point there.
Or he just knew how he knew that, that football wasn't it for him. He had 8 fucking years. He was the greatest ever, low key. Walter Payton, him, I don't know, but then he just made a very smart move. But disappointed for fans. Disappointed for people that liked football. But not for Barry Sanders.
And that was
disappointing.
And that was before this social media era that we got right now, man.
Way before. Those guys didn't make more than like $25,000 a year. He probably made more making those movies and TV shows.
Just think about this, Burns and Paul. Just think about this, right? Back then, there was no way, unless you sent like fan mail to this motherfucker that they probably just threw in the fucking paper shredder. There was no way for you to ever say Jim Brown's name or Herschel Walker's name or anybody that was famous's name and them motherfucking see it, right? There was no way. Now it's just a hashtag. So imagine how much these motherfucking celebrities are bombarded with bullshit to look at, right?
Oh, they got people looking at that forum.
Even if not, I'm sure those people report back to them shit like the general consensus, like, oh man, they're kind of killing you on Twitter, or they're kind of this and that. Them motherfuckers back then wasn't sensitive because they were removed from it, right? These motherfuckers now have to be smarter. Somebody like Will Smith and Jada, they have to know better. Will Smith is one of the highest earners in Hollywood history, bro. You got to put this shit in context, man. This motherfucker is a high fucking earner, man. If you mean to tell me, bro, you get sensitive over something as small as that?
That's a really good point.
He is one of the highest earners. He set a record. Like he made he had the 8-year record. Like he made, I forgot what the figure was, but he broke a fucking record for his earnings over an 8-year span, bro. Nobody has done that besides
Independence Day and
man, come on, man.
Wild West, Men in Black.
He got paid $20 million for Wild Wild West, bro. Like he was killing it, bro.
Hitch.
You mean to
Shark
tell
Tale.
me somebody making a hair joke? And it wasn't even a hair joke. He said G.I. Jane. It was a quick, corny joke.
And
come on, man.
Now,
best chance ever to win an Oscar.
Now,
he fucking does that.
in my pedestrian mind, in my fucking little insignificant nobody in the world of that type of shit mind, I would be like, I would just let the joke die. I would turn around and face away from the camera after he said that shit. I wouldn't even give a reaction. You know what I mean? You mean to tell me Will Smith?
I think it just made it worse for him because he laughed initially, and his wife saw it.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
It like the fucking Zapruder case.
Hey, but guess what, Paul?
You can see that he's glaring at him, and
guess what, Paul? I'm gonna say something right now that's probably not gonna be too popular. If I was the highest earner for 8 years in Hollywood, and I was one of the highest earners in Hollywood history, I wouldn't give a fuck what my wife thought. Bitch, it was a silly ass joke. Calm down. We ain't about to do this right now.
No, you're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong.
We got a fucking enterprise, right? We got an empire. We're not going to crumble that shit on that. Go at the lowest form, slap somebody on stage, look like a stupid ass, look unstable.
I wouldn't care if my wife.
You look unstable.
I wouldn't care if my wife cried. I'd be like, hey man, look, I'm about to wipe your tears with a check. You know what I mean? Like, chill out, man. Don't worry about that, motherfucker.
Go take a bath in money, girl, and shut the fuck up.
Hey, look, check this out.
Somebody finally said it. Slap. Congratulations.
Hey, look, we about to have Silvio whoop his ass later, girl. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that shit. This ain't nothing. I would say, come on, man. She's protected.
Bro, exactly. I would have hired Mossad officers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ex-Jewish. I would have had somebody put Krav Maga moves on this motherfucker later. Like, wow, man, come on, man. I wouldn't have fucking reacted and did all that shit myself. And then with a bitch ass slap. And not to mention, he slapped him and then he cried. You slapped Chris Rock, and he kept doing his job, and then you went off and started crying to where people had to pat you on the back and shit. You cried.
Yeah, you got. I mean, in any conversation about that, Chris Rock's composure in that moment. Was something.
How you slap a motherfucker and still lose? You know what I mean? That motherfucker didn't hit you back. You slapped somebody and then broke down and started crying. Get the no, I never would have did that because any type of points you think that you won with your wife, you lost all of those and then some when you started crying. You still look like a bitch, bro. Jada over there like Tupac wouldn't have cried. You know what I'm saying?
Later, yeah, like Tupac would have doubled down. Yeah. Tupac would have declared war on Chris
Tupac
Rock.
would have fought him again. You slapped this motherfucker and then you cried.
Hey,
what
this
type
is war,
of
Rock? He'd be like, this is just the beginning.
Oh, have you ever slapped a well, actually, I can say this honestly, Burns. Wait, actually, Burns, hold on, Burns. You know what's funny? I was just about to say some shit that wasn't true. I was like, I've never slapped a motherfucker and then cried myself. But I remember that one time when we was out in Puyallup, I did slap him. I broke down. It was out of anger. I was so mad. I broke down.
You had every right too, man. That was a bad one, man. That was a tough one.
Same thing happened to me in the S&N room in Tacoma.
Snake don't say nothing right now.
Yeah, I slapped a couple motherfuckers and cried.
This dude went like a fucking 100 miles per hour in an old school muscle car down like 112 from Puyallup all the way back to Tacoma. Like, don't say shit. It's all right. Like, it's all good. Just listen to the music.
I actually have slapped somebody and cried, but it was for different reasons.
That was a fun ass night, though, man.
That was a fun ass night.
Speaking of which, that night when a lot of crazy shit was happening, Paul, there was this military dude who was hanging out at the bar. Because here's some background real quick. I knew this dude. His dad owned a restaurant. It was called Charlie Chan's. They had a bar. We started infiltrating the bar and just hanging out there and taking it over. We go out there one night, and remember, you know what I'm talking about.
It was over Chris Rock, Master
we
William.
Were doing like
you're right.
specials and shit. Yeah, Chris Rock was a part of it.
He was a part of this story.
This stupid ass white dude said some shit. This other guy who thought he was a cool cat.
He said, "I like Dave Chappelle, but Chris Rock is an N-word." That's what he said. That's exactly what he said.
And so
a white guy said that?
Yeah,
a white dude from Puyallup.
Oh, he's a smart dude.
He was a stupid ass dumb fuck, right? But he also was buying a gang of drinks that night because he was a sucker.
It didn't matter.
Like, he was a sucker. He was buying drinks. Yeah. And he was like, oh, man, what's up, guys? Like, as soon as we came through, because we ran these stupid ass specials, Jello shots and shit, trying to get girls up into the bar and have stupid promos. The dude's dad owned the bar. He was the son, so he ran it. We were getting free drinks. But afterwards, Slap did what he did best. But at that same time he does that, these dudes, they drive off when he says this. I'm not even with them. I'm still back at the bar, and there's this military dude, and he's wasted, and he's having flashbacks and shit. He's all in combat, but he's done so much, like, got drunk so bad that he flips out and goes and takes a big ass, like, one of those little, bigger than a brick. What are they, Slapped? They're like a boulder?
Like the little curb things or whatever. I wasn't there when it happened.
Not a curve thing.
Mind you, I wasn't there. I walked into that situation.
This fool takes that shit and then throws it against the McDonald's.
Yeah, I wasn't there when he did that. Window. I was walking back from that altercation.
And he breaks the window. Oh, you wasn't there. But this is where it gets interesting. As soon as this dude throws this shit and breaks the McDonald's window, Slap returns from slapping this dude for saying the N-word. And then this military guy walks right up to him and he's like, what's going on? And Slap's like, motherfucker, you better get out my face. And the dude backs off.
No, I slapped him too.
Wait, did you?
Yes. I slapped the shit out that dude, man.
The second guy?
You know why?
Nah, you didn't slap the shit out of the military guy.
But man, yeah, but you better go back and ask the Ray. You better ask K-Do in town, man. Yeah, yes, I did. Man, I slapped the shit out of him because
is this before or after you were jailed for slapping something?
No, I slapped that dude, but this is what happened. When I came back, this is what happened, Burns.
Hey, that's a good question, though.
He said,
ask that later. Hold on.
Okay, no, this is what happened, Burns. This is what happened.
Keep that.
So I slapped that dude. We're down the street. I slap him, and then I'm walking back to the bar to find you. So when I get to the parking lot, that guy that had thrown the brick or the rock or whatever, I wasn't there. He was looking crazy. So the first thought in my head was that, oh, he knows that other guy. He must have called him or something and told him. I'm thinking that they're together because I just see a dude looking crazy. So the first thing I did, I walked straight up to that motherfucker, and I didn't. I just slapped it. Yeah,
because he was trying to walk up.
Yeah, he was trying to walk up to me, and I slapped the shit out of him.
I remember.
Yeah, I slapped the shit out of him like, man.
Slap night, and then we had to leave immediately.
Because they told me later.
Everybody, I knew.
They told me later that them motherfuckers didn't know each other and all that shit. And it was like, man, why'd you slap him?
Man,
and I was like,
time to leave. It was time to fucking go. Right after that second slap happened, I guarantee you.
No, I broke down and started crying after second slap because I thought white people was trying to kill me. I was like, man, I'm about to go to jail. It ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna believe what happened.
But I was like, slap.
Well, you're not entirely wrong.
Hey, but I was like, Slap, we gotta go. And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, Snake, don't say shit the rest of this ride.
No, I told
Like,
Town don't say shit.
Out of here.
I was mad at Town. I was like, Town, you probably say that shit too.
Hey,
I bet when you home alone, you say the N-word too, motherfucker. Shut up.
He just whispers it. He looks in the mirror and says it.
Yeah.
Man, like, come on, man.
They be practicing and shit.
And that's weird. Like, do you really think people be doing that kind of shit?
I know people do that shit,
They
man.
like get all snug under
I know I got a white friend, man.
Racial epithets.
You know
like,
what I've always respected about you, Burns, is I remember one time I rolled out with you, man, and we was me, you, and Moon was in the car together. We was kicking it. And you was the first person I ever seen do this. We was listening to, I don't know, whatever music it was. Every time they said nigga, you said Nilla. And I was like, that's genius, bro. Like those two letter swaps right there save you from an ass whooping. And it was like, hey, I respected that. I was like, man, you still in the song, you still right there with us. You just switched two letters.
Yeah, I was talking to a dad friend of mine who,
and it makes sense because vanilla.
Why
vanilla wafers
should his son be able to, white
crackers
something?
like a motherfucker?
Oh, what you saying, Paul? I'm sorry.
Wait, sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Vanilla wafers.
You know I ain't lying, Burns. Go ahead, boy.
But he was asking why he shouldn't just let his white boys, say the N-word.
Uh-huh.
When they're singing along to music.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of told him, it's not our fucking word anymore. Unless you know why you're delivering.
Well, my thing is this, right? If you want to say that word around me, like I got a black family, I got black friends, if you want to say that word around me, you have to show me that you're going to come around all of my peoples and say that word as comfortably as you think you're going to say it just around me. Like if you go to a black barbecue and you say it, man, I'm not going to say nothing. So you got to show me, like, don't say that shit around me and it's just me and maybe 2 or 3 other white dudes or whatever. But then when I take you somewhere where it's nothing but black people, you change your energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And most motherfuckers ain't for that. You know what I mean? They wouldn't do that. You have enough sense to not say it in a black crowd. You're not about to go walk into Latitude 84 and say that motherfucking word. You know what I mean? And if you that type of motherfucker that's live, you that live and you that crazy, man, I'm not going to kick it with you. I'm not going to be your friend, but I ain't going to say shit to you. But if you go out there and you say that motherfucking word in front of a large group of black people that ain't for it, I ain't going to say shit to you. But if you say it around me and then you don't say it around nobody else.
Sort of feeling I get when you see one of these guys who insists on saying it to another black person.
Yeah,
and then he gets a beat down. It's like, fuck yeah, he gets a beat down. It's just hard to understand.
And that's an evolved word. That's an evolved opinion of mine. You know what I mean? Because when I was young, I just like, fuck it, I'm gonna fuck you up. But later in life, I was like, okay, let's see how you. And I did that to my friend before, man. I got a good friend. He's a good friend of mine to this day, and I told him that same shit. Like, bro, if you keep that same energy, and everywhere we go where there's black people, and you say it, and you ready to get your ass whooped every time we go somewhere where I'm gonna take you, keep saying it. Fuck it, I'll let you. And he thought about it for me and like, oh yeah, nah. Like, I ain't gonna do that. Yeah. Like, you're not gonna jump in and help me fight? No, I'm not gonna fucking, no, hell no, man. I'm gonna help them beat you up. Like, shit, man. He'll get the fuck out of there. I'm offended. Like, fuck that. Don't, you gotta keep that same energy all the way through.
I don't understand. I understand the origin of the word, what it means, and the conversation. Everything else. But why do white people feel compelled to say it?
I'm saying, with all due respect, I have met some white people that really just grew up in that environment, and other people have given them a pass. And you know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers is like the craziest, most official motherfuckers you probably done met that can say it.
If you think about it, man, it's the cool thing to say, right? It's the coolest thing to say.
Well, because they listen to rap music, bro.
Yeah, so for them, they probably can't handle the fact that they can't say it. So when they get at their pissy, they start saying it. But Pete, that's stupid. You know what? I've heard a lot of other races say that shit too, culturally, because we would grow up a certain way and they wouldn't even be close to black. They'd be saying that shit. And I'd be like, y'all don't got any business saying that shit neither.
Yeah.
But they would still say it. And honestly, I've seen black folks let them get away with it too. Now, of course, sometimes when that person's like 6'5", 330 pounds and swole, you probably let them get away with a lot.
Well,
right?
I mean, everybody have given the Samoans a pass.
Black just told us earlier that he got thrown in jail for slapping a dude who had no right to touch
Does that make it right?
But I'm gonna say this, man. I think it's a proximity thing with most of us, right? So, because the passes that's been given to white people, most of the time is like, oh no, that motherfucker grew up around us. He's been around us this whole motherfucking time. So, like with Cambodians, at least my experiences here, Cambodians, Samoans, people that grew up. We all grew up around each other. You could get in the past, but if it's like Tyler from the fucking North End, you know what I mean? They had like one black friend and they listen to rap tapes together. Like, nah, man, you don't share our experience, man. But if you're somebody else that's brown like me, that's been poor like me and been in the same proximity as me, I could understand how you would say that because maybe your mom let me come to your house and eat food before. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we ran around with each other for a long enough time for us to get familiar. But to me, it's the motherfuckers that don't share the same experience because that's what culture is. Culture is us sharing.
I told my son. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The thing I told my son is we don't get followed at stores. We don't get pulled over on a regular basis.
Twist that
out. I probably in one hand I can't how many times I've told them. So I try to let him know that just the fact that you're a white male means you're walking around with more power.
Walking around with what? Hold on, I didn't.
More power. So if you're a white male, if you are absolutely the king of this society.
No, I get you. I've been following so far.
So, it seems to me that as you move down the spectrum, you see more and more abuse being put on people, and law enforcement doing things that they don't do to me. I move through the world unimpeded. And that's not the truth. What you were talking about, the culture. He's sitting there listening to tapes, okay? He's getting some exposure.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really know.
Yeah. No, I'll say this, too. I'll say this as an add-on. Like, I could listen to say like there was I don't know Spanish or whatever, but I'm sure there's a derogatory term for or maybe a term of endearment for Spanish people, right? I could listen to motherfucking reggaeton or goddamn what's that shit? What's the Mexican music where they got the fucking mariachi music or whatever? I would never myself come into your house and fucking say the words that are exclusive to you. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go to an Italian household and call anybody a dago. Whether or not you call each other that, I wouldn't call you a wop. Whether or not you guys say that to each other, I wouldn't do it because I know what it fucking means because I've admired your culture from afar. If you admire someone's culture from afar and you really fuck with it and it's dear to you, you would understand you know what I mean? You would understand the double standard. You got to respect the double standard. Yeah. I can say it, you can't. I got friends. I have Italian friends that call each other Dagos. I don't quite know what Dago means, but I kind of feel like it's not a good term. You know what I'm saying? From the feeling that
every immigrant group that came to this country was vilified, but it's black people we really latched on.
What I'm saying is, I understand culture. Like I look at people and I wouldn't call you the names that you might call yourself. You know what I mean? I don't speak your language.
It's incredibly interesting to me that people forget that words, first off, have meaning. And second off, don't have to be used.
If you know the history of the word, man, and you know the history of the people, then you would respect it, man. And if the people that do use that word and they use it in the wrong place, first of all, there's a lot of black customs, right? So first of all, in a black person's house, if you walk into my house, in my family's house, and my mother's there, and there's other women in family, there's other older people, you have to speak and introduce yourself to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that crosses all other cultures, but I know for a fact with black people, it's very disrespectful to walk into their house and not say hello to everyone present. Now, in black culture, there might be like 20 people in that house. You spend that motherfucking time saying hello to every motherfucker in that house, man. Like, if I went to my mom's house right now and just stopped by and she was in the bathroom, I can't leave out that house, even if I got to go up and say, hey, Mom, I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, it's just a thing. Like, there's certain
in my incredibly white culture, I waggle my dick at every guest.
I'm just saying, man, every culture has customs. Every culture has customs that you have to respect.
Please respect my dick waggling.
Yeah, every culture has customs that you have to respect.
Exactly, you waggle your dick at your guests.
He's making jokes, bro.
Oh, for sure.
That's one thing I know about white people, right? So for me having white friends and knowing white culture, one thing I do know is that white people are really up on sarcasm, right? They make certain jokes that other races or whatever, or other cultures might not even understand. They might look at something like that like disrespect. But I happen to know, because I have white friends and I love them, that white people are very sarcastic. Like, sarcasm is a part of, you know what I mean? That's why we
What does that mean now?
Just like sarcasm and satire. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
parody.
You guys joke in a different way than most people do. You know what I'm saying? Some cultures are more sensitive than other ones. But white people is like, man, fuck it. We all in with the disrespect. Like, if somebody in you guys' culture, if somebody in you guys' culture would have said the same thing to someone else's wife that Chris Rock said to, they would have laughed that shit the fuck off. Like, Ricky Gervais is
look at Don Rickles.
Ricky Gervais called all the Hollywood pedophiles. Yeah, Don Rickles, Rodney Dangerfield, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that type of shit, you guys laugh it off.
Well, actually, but Rodney Dangerfield did it differently.
It was funny, though.
He made fun about himself.
Yeah, true.
He never clowned nobody else.
And that's another thing. Self-deprecating humor is a part of you guys' culture. And if you really fuck with people, you got to take the time to understand the culture before you ever feel like you can be integrated in the culture to use the words and shit like that.
It's funny though, it's funny how comedy can become somebody's culture. Like, I can understand what you're saying. I'm not saying
I'm not saying comedy is someone's culture. What I'm saying, I'm not saying comedy is you guys' culture. I'm saying
self-deprecating comedy is white people's culture.
No, I'm not saying it's white people's culture. What I'm saying is that's a part of you guys. Like, you guys,
like that's a part of you guys.
Us?
Okay, I get it.
So,
okay.
No.
Okay.
Black people, hold on, stop. Black people, it's not self-deprecating. Hold on, no, Burns. Wait, Burns, hold on. Let me speak for just a minute. White people are more in tune with self-deprecating comedy, right? Black people go out and talk shit about the people that's in the front row. That's Def Comedy Jam.
Man, I'm sorry, man. You know what? I totally misunderstood you. Yeah. I thought you said self-defecating comedy. My bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, when you get old enough, it's definitely self-defecating.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Might shit on yourself. You go on stage, you start sitting on yourself. Everybody laughs.
But to me, all the way, it's funny. Like, I grew up watching Saturday Night Live with my dad. Like, you know what I mean? From probably the beginning. I was born in 76. I probably watched that type of humor from the beginning of my fucking life. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen...
Oh, that was a world-changing humor, how it was delivered.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live was huge.
But you know what? I got to say, I think that's an amazing insight you had. Like you guys, like, okay, so it's for, shits and giggles, right? White people are able to do the self-deprecating humor because they can see themselves as up on the wall.
Well, wait, Paul, let me cut you off on that real quick. Right. White people are able to do the self-deprecating humor because they've never been at the bottom in this country, so it can actually be funny. You know what I mean? Like, you can, you know what I mean? Like, it's actually
because
a joke.
No real fear there.
Yeah, if other cultures did self-deprecating humor, other people in their fucking culture probably wouldn't really feel it because it's like real. Like, man, no, I really am poor. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, some of these things you're saying are really fucking true. Like, yeah, like you have the benefit.
You laugh through the pain by identifying the pain.
Yeah, and that's not one of our exactly, man. Once you understand people and you really take the time to like fuck with different types of people, man, you'll have a better understanding. And I think a lot of people are just closed-minded. Like I hate stereotypes, man, because I feel like me and even Burns, like Burns, you know this, we break a lot of stereotypes, man. Most people don't look at Burns and then expect this motherfucker to jump on stage and spit 16 bars as hard as shit, you know what I'm saying, and then dance and be on rhythm and, you know what I'm saying, and just be all of the shit that he is, you know what I mean? And then most people wouldn't look at me and then see me fucking, you know what I mean, like reading books about quantum physics and, you know what I mean, and fucking doing all type of techie nerd shit, you know what I mean? So
dude, I'm reading Cosmos right now.
Yeah. Like I grew up, but guess what? I grew up like loving Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know what I mean? Like the stereotypes that other people have of me, never fucking. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see him until I got older into the world, and I think a lot of people just get caught up on stereotypes and shit like that, man. And that's
the policies of the country, quite frankly, have. Funneled us into different places on purpose.
The worst stereotypes are the ones that you look out through, the ones that you hold and you view the world through. It's not the ones that they put on you. It's the ones that you hold on to and you look at the world like. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the problem. We all do that shit. Man, I'll tell you, when I first met Burns, wait, hold on, man. Let me just give Burns some props, man. When you want to talk about a stereotype, man. That's why I love this motherfucker, man. When I first met Burns, right, this motherfucker really legitimately had like a Luigi mustache, right? He really did, man. He had a big fucking fat ass mustache. This is a hairy Italian kid, right? He had like a real big ass mustache.
On, man, it wasn't that.
Man,
bad.
Say you didn't have a mustache, motherfucker. It wasn't
that twisty.
I didn't do the twist. I'm just saying you had a big mustache.
I was
Did you
like,
not?
ooh wee.
No, but
look at that's a pizza pie.
Hey, but Burns, what was you doing when I met you?
I was doing a lot of things.
No,
man.
what was you doing when I met you? You was delivering pizzas, motherfucker.
Oh shit! You got me at the hut.
I met your Italian ass when you had a big mustache delivering pizzas.
Hey, you caught me when I was at the pizza.
I think he was trying to live in a porn dream.
maybe that too. But still,
you got that mustache says, "Hey, baby."
Yeah, but if I would have just wrote him off. You know, but I
was balling at the hut.
You was, exactly, man. I liked this guy when I met him. Like,
we can't talk about what I did at the hut on air.
I know, but you did deliver pizzas with a big mustache.
I did. I was good ass pizza delivery, man. Yeah. I rose the ranks, god damn it.
Hey, man, shout out to you. I'm just saying, man, you gotta take your time to get to know people. And all that racial slur shit and shit like that, man, if you really took your time to get to know motherfuckers, you'll know what hurt them. You know what I mean? You would know the things where you're stepping out of line in their culture. And I think the fucked up part with black people, man, is people just, they think they know everything. You know what I mean? They listen to our music.
How many black people on Sunday got asked, why did that happen?
Man, you know what the funny part about that is, too? Is I hate a lot of black people now. From that incident. Hate is a strong word. I can't say I hate, but temporarily right now, I'm fucking mad at black people because it's almost like we're split 50-50, man. I see girls like, oh, I want my man to defend me like this. I'm like, for real? You want, like, bitch, you're not Jada and Will Smith. You want your man to throw away his job at the tire shop, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody made a bullshit joke about you? That's what you want? You want he just made it the manager. You know what I mean? You want him to throw it all away because somebody made a off-brand joke about your weave? Like, come on, man. Like, and it's a lot of that. And I see a lot of dudes also following behind them like, yeah, if you wouldn't do what Will did, you're a pussy. It's like, bro, that's toxic. That's a toxic relationship. Nah, I'm not about to jump up and slap a motherfucker.
You know what? That's truly, I think we finally have truly seen an example of toxic masculinity.
That is, bro. It really is. Right? And I hated that word before. I hated that word before.
You know what, though? That's funny because I never really understood what it meant until I think right now it dawned on me. Is that is a version of toxic masculinity, but it also shows you,
look, you know what it is?
How horrible that is.
You know what it is?
The worst
what it is they're fucking up using the word with
you're
toxic.
not doing it correctly.
It's pseudo.
It's not. That doesn't necessarily mean it's masculine.
It's not toxic masculinity. Like, it's pseudo. It's pseudo masculinity.
It's fucking,
you know what I mean?
Man, it's passive.
Because you slap a motherfucker and then you cry.
Passive aggressiveness.
Yeah, it's pseudo masculinity.
Yeah,
because
it's not the right way you should do it.
No,
right?
Fuck no.
You did not do that correctly. And honestly, I read
his,
this book.
His publicist was met with him just seconds after it happened, and about 15 minutes before he won the award. Yeah, I don't know that there's anything these guys don't do.
I'm just saying, man. Reading the book, it makes so much sense based on what he says in his book. And the fact that he never stood up when he should have as a kid, growing up to a young adult, never stood up, had the courage when it meant it, didn't have his priorities straight when he had kids.
And you know what's crazy? He still didn't stand up. Because one thing, man, if I go off and I hit somebody right and I do something like that, I'm at least going to stand there long enough for him to get a chance to hit me back. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna slap a motherfucker and then turn around. I know he's not gonna hit and just walk off. Like, no, hit me. Let's fight.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Should have at least pushed him off the stage.
Nah, like, Chris Rock. No, but see, this is the thing. Chris Rock is true masculinity, bro. He's a true man because he took that little weak ass bitch ass slap and laughed it off, right? Like, nigga, you about to go cry. He already knew in his head, like, man, yo, bitch ass, like, you ain't like that, bro. Mind you, Chris Rock. I don't think
he even touched it. You know, everybody who's been hit, you touch the area that. And he didn't even do that. He just popped right back up and was smiling.
Yeah, no.
He didn't even budge, really.
But imagine how your balls got to be to get slapped at work in front of millions of people and still just like, oh, man, all right, man, really? For real? You know what I mean? And then not only that, I'm sure everybody in the world are trying to get to Chris Rock right now and get his statement, right? Right? Including the police. Yeah, and what did Chris Rock do? Yeah. He didn't say shit, bro. Man, fuck that. I ain't pressing no charges. And I'm not doing no fucking interviews. It wasn't nothing, bro. Leave me the fuck alone, man.
You know what? When Will Smith is sleeping in his bed at night, here's a creak in the window.
No, not even that, bro. He's just sitting up crying still. He's still crying for no reason with his bitch ass.
It's too soon. It's too soon to have a
killer. He went right back on TV after that slap and cried like a bitch. You should never. Come on, man. Imagine slapping a man in front of your wife and then crying. Like, see, you took back everything that you did, bro. You stood up for her and then you cried about it. So look, you know what's going through her head? He really didn't want to do that. And then the next time something really happens, he might do it or he might not, but he's going to cry about it.
He's going to cry.
Bitch.
He's going to be like,
big old fucking
bitch. I whooped his ass, babe.
Yeah. Big old fucking bitch. Why are you crying? Yeah, you did something good.
He's getting it on both sides, man. He's an actor.
Yeah, you defended me, but why are you crying for defending your wife?
Was that his first? Has he ever won Best Actor?
No, never. Fuck no. It's not that many black men that have won Best Actor.
Damn.
There's not that many.
He doesn't really deserve it as much as other black guys. But
hey, man, I'm going to just say Eddie Murphy should have got that shit. Best support for Dreamgirls,
okay, but
man.
hold up.
They've snubbed plenty of black men.
Time out.
Okay.
Wait a second. Hold up. So you're telling me?
I don't even want you to see my face right now, man, because you about to say some shit.
Anything. I can't say anything, but you're telling me on the night that you're with your girl, a famous comedian, clowns your bitch, you fucking go up on stage and slap him. Right?
Well, wait. Hold on. Let me interject real quick. Okay, go ahead.
The riddle's not over. You slap some famous comedian, and then you go take a seat, and then you wait 45 minutes, and then you win Best Actor.
He had already won Best Actor by that time. It's not like
that. This was his first Oscar, right?
No. What I'm saying is technically he had already won it because it's not like they decide.
He never really won it though.
Bro, listen to me.
This was his first Oscar.
Listen to me.
I don't give a fuck about the 8 years in a row.
Stop. Burns, be quiet. Stop. Listen to me. He had already won it at the Academy. They already knew who the Best Actor was for that year. It is not like he slapped him in it.
Yeah,
he did know. They know before, bro. You know why they know before? Because if he didn't have won it, if he didn't win it, he wouldn't have showed up, bro. He just came back from being mad. That's why they were going to boycott in 2016. That's why they didn't go in 2016 because he wasn't up for another movie he was in. Those people know what they're going to win before they go.
Man, no,
they know that they're going to win before they go. If you mean to tell me Hollywood can keep a secret, bro, if you mean to tell, come on, man. So if
Hollywood could keep a secret about who's gonna win, but they can't keep a secret about what dumbass jokes
you mean to tell me? You mean to tell me the people? Hold on. You mean to tell me the people that win Oscars and Grammys and shit like that don't know that they're gonna win before they go?
Who's in charge of these award shows?
It's a non-profit organization. It's the
ran
Academy.
By whom?
It's the Academy,
I'm trying to figure out how the fuck they giving that information up so easily.
I mean, come on, man. They know this shit is fake.
Man, would you really want to have a show,
bro?
And not tell who the winners are?
They tell them who they know they're gonna win. They know they're gonna win, bro. They know that they won. They know those motherfuckers know that they have won before they show up.
Explain all those other times where a bunch of other cats who didn't win showed up also.
But that's the times when they boycotted. That's times when they have boycotted like they didn't want to show up, bro. Like, if you're going to win an Oscar, hold on. If you're going to win an Oscar.
The only motherfucker never came to the Oscars was Bono and Michael Jackson.
There's other people. Marlon Brando, hold on.
Every once in a while because he got too old. No.
Marlon Brando didn't show up. Hold on, stop, Burns. Listen, Marlon Brando didn't show up for the Oscars because he didn't like the treatment of Native Americans in the movie. Hold on, listen to me. This is a big thing that happened. Marlon Brando didn't like the treatment of Native Americans in the Godfather series. I don't even know where they were, but he won an Oscar for it, right? And he sent somebody else to do his acceptance speech. It was a chick named like something Littlefeather, right? Yeah. How the fuck would he know to send someone else to do his acceptance speech if he didn't know that he won? I mean, and then look, stop. You know, and then John Wayne,
he was actually filming a movie at Tacoma.
Yeah, and then John Wayne. Was it John Wayne? Am I wrong, or was it Clint Eastwood? It was either one of them country western motherfuckers got mad as fuck about that. You know what I'm talking about, Paul?
But at the same time,
I don't remember. I don't know about that. I'm sure that there were plenty of white.
It was Marlon Brando. There's an article. Look at the article of actors that have turned down their Oscar.
We understand when we say that, though, that Marlon Brando also knew that everybody in the world thought that The Godfather was the greatest movie ever made by that point.
There's people that
that they won all those awards ahead of time. So he was talking shit. He was letting his dick hang out on the floor.
Okay, well let me ask you this,
that was the same thing with.
Let me ask you this in the vein of people not knowing they're going to get an Oscar. How do they have somebody already on hand to accept when they're not there, like when they can't be there because they're filming or they're...
Oh, they get all kinds of goodies, and you know how rich people love
goodies. That's that same shit. That's
no, they know like, they're going to get the award before they get it, bro.
I know I might win it, but fuck
they
this
have
guys.
all
I'm
these
gonna send you to my shit for me, so you got the ticket.
What I'm saying is they know they're going to win it before they win it, bro.
Some people don't give a fuck. Somebody will come up and be like, they're going to accept
Will
it for you.
Smith
Hey, thanks a lot.
Because you know why? He wouldn't have came if he wasn't going to win, bro.
When was the last? Do you know the last time he attended the Oscars?
I know that in 2016 they boycotted the Oscars because he wasn't.
Do you know if he attended afterwards?
He wasn't in a movie where it mattered.
I really don't know. I don't think he was up for any.
So that was like 6 years ago, though.
Yeah.
You get when you're not up for it.
The last 6 years. So unless, I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think that these award shows I don't know.
I don't think there's any way that they don't know. This is why I don't think, because everything in Hollywood is rehearsed.
But I also don't care because
I don't
what
care
does the Oscar
either.
really
but
mean?
this is what I'm saying.
I've seen way better movies than the person
man, this is what you do.
Oscar,
this is what you do, though, Burns. This is what you do.
They just want to keep you distracted by these stupid ass shows.
Burns, you can't do this. You'll bring up a point, right? No. And then I'll say, no, that's not it. And then you'll be like, who cares? Like, no, you brought it up. I'm just replying to your...
Okay, you said what was your reply?
You
to
said,
my
do you think
point?
at that time that he would come up there and do? And I'm saying he already knew he was going to get that fucking Oscar, right? That's the only reason why he was emboldened to go up there.
See, okay, well then let's take it back to the original point because you keep interrupting me. Okay. Is that what I was trying to say? Is that when it was like
when did you guys get married?
What?
Shut up, Paul.
Hey, Paul with the zingers in the back.
You're not hearing.
See, that's friends, bro.
That's good. That's good. All I was trying to say is if it was genuinely his first Oscar and that meant something to him,
okay,
that after you smack some random famous comedian on stage, and then 45 minutes later you win the award. Now you're saying he already knew.
He already
fine.
knew, or he wouldn't have smacked him.
I'm saying he didn't know.
I'm saying he did know because
I know that's what you saying.
it's in the bag. I can slap this nigga and still get my award.
Again,
watch what I do
fine.
right now. It don't
That's
matter. That's what's emboldening me to slap this motherfucker because I'm already in there, baby.
He didn't know, and then he finally won this big ass award that he wanted, and then that made him all overcome with emotions. Like that's the first time you won that shit. Plus, you done slap somebody up. Like, but
bro.
Yeah, of course, you disseminated.
You gotta understand.
You decimated that shit.
You gotta understand. Black people have gotten that award so few times that he already felt accomplished. You know what I'm saying? He already knew that he won it. It's not because if you've never gotten that award and you don't know if you got it or not, the last thing you're gonna do is fuck up your chance of ever getting it later. You're not gonna slap a motherfucker and then not be invited again.
Still, and that being said, if you knew you was gonna slap somebody. It's just, I think it's a shame that it had to be Chris Rock.
But he knew the consequence of that slap didn't include losing out on the chance to win an Oscar. He already knew he won the Oscar, so he knew he had it in the bag, bro. All I got to do is win this one. Nobody, I don't give a fuck. I got it already. I can go slap the fuck out of whoever. I'm surprised he didn't slap nobody else.
Can I just ask you this then? And Paul, you as well. Have you seen King Richard?
No.
Oh, no, I'm not interested in that at all. And also, I hear that the depiction is not accurate.
So it's like, once again, so for the people, this is what, it is probably a great performance.
Is it?
But you know what? I don't know because I haven't watched it neither. And I think that's my point to all of this shit is that I thought that maybe Will Smith was overcome from the whole situation. I knew he was going to cry anyways after slapping somebody. Bro. So that's the thing. He slapped somebody.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you.
He still fucking cried.
I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. This is how I feel. Man. I feel like Will Smith has two lanes. Either he plays a funny role and he's the same motherfucker in that funny role all the time, or he plays a serious role. So the same King Richard is the nigga from Pursuit of Happiness. And as any serious movie, he only has two speeds. He either has comedic role or serious role. He's Ali and King Richard. Like, he doesn't have... he's a person that wasn't... Yeah, he was perfect for Ali, but I feel like he just doesn't have the range. Like, when people make it like Will Smith is this great-ass actor, think about it, man. Pursuit of Happiness, was that really a good-ass...
Actually, I mean, that was a good movie.
It was a good movie, but was it really a good performance? Based on a true
story.
Could nobody else have played that role?
Who else?
Anybody, bro. Anybody could play a broke motherfucker with a machine. And I'm not saying why not him, but I'm saying was it really? Would you rather
have seen The Rock in that movie, or maybe?
No, I would have casted it better than putting a fucking Rock. I would have casted it better than putting a Rock in a movie. Huh?
Would you rather have? I mean, come on, man.
I feel like Tom Hanks is a way better fucking actor than Will Smith. I'm sorry. I feel like fucking
Tom
Cruise is a way better actor than motherfucking Will Smith. I feel like
Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Why? Why? Just because of the? I mean, I don't know. Absolutely. I mean, I think I put them all in the same category.
I don't put Will Smith up there in acting. I don't put Will Smith up there in acting, bro. I'm sorry.
Cruise is a crazy man as far as I'm concerned. Cruise is a crazy man,
bro.
But, man, Magnolia. Fucking Jerry Maguire. There's just a lot of.
Hey, you know what? You know what made me change my mind in Tom Cruise? And I'm about to sound stupid right now. Tropic Thunder.
All right.
At the end, Tom Cruise played a totally different character than he's ever played. He played the fucking movie exec with the big hands and shit. Like he has a range, bro. You know what I mean? He has a range.
I remember. Yeah.
I don't feel like Will Smith.
Thunder?
Yeah, Tropic Thunder. I don't feel like Will Smith has a range. You know what I mean? Like, I think he has two speeds.
Oh, I agree with that. But how did you feel about what was the guy that was in blackface the whole movie?
Oh man, I loved it. I'm not no
Robert Downey Jr.
Hey, look, I put Robert Downey Jr. over fucking Will Smith. I love that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not no easily offended motherfucker, especially when you explain what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just jump to get offended with shit. It was funny. That shit was funnier than most of the shit Will Smith has ever done to me.
Was so...
That shit
Our
was
culture
hilarious.
has
Especially when it's like, I'm a
zero
dude that's playing a
context.
dude that's playing another dude. Like,
That was so stupid.
that's just hilarious,
He's so
bro.
into his role.
That whole fucking
He
movie.
got pigment surgery. Like,
He was
that's
deep,
so stupid.
but look,
Talk
and he was playing a good actor. He put on a great acting performance, playing a great actor in a movie, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not lost on these details, bro. I'm not lost on the details and shit. You know what I mean?
That's why Tropic Thunder is one of the funniest movies ever
and people
made,
hate
man.
it.
Seriously.
And people talk shit about that
People was
movie.
tripping,
People was
man.
tripping about that movie because of
They
that. It's like, if
clowned
you
that
really
shit.
watched the movie and just shut the fuck up and laugh,
They
you would
clowned
see
that
how
shit,
funny
bro.
that fucking shit was.
Dude,
Man, that
even
shit
with
was
the
hilarious.
rapper who had the booty juice.
Yeah, Brandon. That was Brandon T. Jackson, man. And Brandon T. Jackson actually had one of my fucking favorite movie moments, and it was in this movie called Lottery Ticket with Bow Wow, man. They standing on the roof, and man, I'm telling you, that shit almost made me cry because Bow Wow won the lottery ticket, and it was his homie, and he was like, "I'm broke, nigga." Like he was trying to ask him, like, "Why are you tripping about it?" He's like, "No, I'm broke," and I felt the emotion, like, damn, this nigga really broke. He just want his friend to give him some money with the lottery ticket. Like, man, that was a great ass movie, bro. There's plenty of movies that were great that people fucking shitted on. And that's how you see how public opinion can ruin art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Public opinion ruins art all the fucking time, man. If they, especially with the internet now, you know what I mean? Like, especially with the internet, man, motherfuckers will go and talk shit about it, and then they'll write a think piece 20 years later and be like, no, this was actually great. Like, man, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Damn.
Man.
I got so many movies like that, comedies and stuff that weren't appreciated at the time.
Yeah, and then you come back and like, no, this is
they're
genius.
classic now.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder, man.
No, that was a great movie, man. I watched that shit so many times. That's like when we was talking about Hancock, bro. And everybody's like, nah, Hancock is his worst movie and it sucked and sucks. Like, nah, man, I love the fuck out that. I love the fuck out that movie, man. Nah, me.
That was great. That movie was a great story up until the very end.
Yeah, no, exactly. See, I know you didn't like the end. Like, I was telling Burns about the racial context of Hancock, and he was like, hell no. And I was like, no, bro, there was actually, they actually shoehorned racism in there somehow. And like, it takes you to be a really big fan of movies and like really look at the movie to see that shit.
Yeah.
It comes from everywhere, and it's relentless.
Yeah, but I mean, hey man, while we're here and we're on the line together and shit like that, man, y'all gotta understand, man. Like, I don't know, I can't speak for all black people, but I can speak for like, I don't know, like a decent amount. Man, we used to this shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, you don't ever gotta feel like you gotta say to me like you understand or this or that. Like, man, bro, we so hypersensitive to this shit. Like, we already understand what you understand and what you don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, I've had times where I went out in the world.
Study white people.
Yeah.
Because we run the world.
Yeah, exactly. I've had times when I went out with friends or whatever, and I met people and they're like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for this and that. Like, I don't watch the news like that. I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't watch all of this shit that you watch or whatever. I just drink this motherfucking whiskey with me and have a good time, bitch. Like, don't apologize to me. You know, don't.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's white people trying to be nice.
Yeah,
Instead of actually educating themselves. I considered myself an educated guy, and then I read a book. I can't remember the. It was gross. It was about the economics of slavery.
Oh.
And it was very precise about everything that it talked about.
Yeah, if you ever remember the name of that book, man, text it to me.
This house has never been told.
Oh, I'm sure.
And yeah, it's basically just a very historical breakdown of the economics of that system. The North benefited tremendously from slavery.
I mean,
it's a miracle that they could even build an army to try to stop slavery.
I mean, how could they not? But I feel like in that situation, in that instance, like, I think they understood a little bit better because, man, I don't want to get too deep, right? But when you're in a situation, right, like the way I feel about that shit is like, say like you're somewhere where food and everything is plentiful and money is coming in. You don't really have to think that much, man. I think that the colder climates and shit like that, where it's a little bit harder, they think a little bit more, man, because survival is more on their mind. And I think that the North was just a little bit smarter, and they understood like we can't sustain this shit long term, right? So the South was cracking them motherfucking whips on motherfucking backs, and they put all of their energy into that. But if that motherfucking same sentiment had to be done in the North, they wasn't ready for that. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't their motherfucking MO. You know what I mean? Like, so more runaway. More runaways.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead.
You probably heard stories about the financial collapse when they put all these shitty mortgages into what they called tranches, and they sold it to people at AAA goods. Well, that same economic system existed back then, and that's what they did with black people. So you would buy, it's an investment. You don't even see those people. You don't work on a fucking farm.
Yeah.
But you've bought their equity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it gets way more disgusting.
Damn, no, I want to hear that. I want to see that book, man. Send me that. Find out.
Let me tell you, it was an eye opener. I was already, I understood kind of, but then
no, send me that. Man. I want to read that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, hey man, my
but,
friend.
I mean, I don't want to sound like some dumb shit woke white dude, but like we don't understand at all. Our culture, our whiteness, the white people, we don't understand, and we have actively avoided taking responsibility for what happened.
I don't think most of us understand though. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that's probably true.
There's so many facets of that shit, man. I mean, I don't think most of us do, but I mean, at this point in time right now, the basic things that we understand is that people are people. You know what I mean? Like, black people need reparations. You know what I mean? Like, there's basic things that we understand right now.
I absolutely 100% agree.
All right, moving along, man. Moving along. Let's get off of this, man. We don't want to lose Burns.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think when you're dead and a lot of shit happens before you're born, it's hard to pick up the pieces and take it pass the baton over and start running. A lot of people aren't, right now, if you think about it, we know the history and we know that it's fucked up. Okay. And we know that certain people can appear to be on the right side of it or the wrong side of it. Mm-hmm. But then we also get put into this crazy ass formula that's known as capitalism. Yeah. And the United States government and all the other shit that it's about, from military to, the comedy to the elite people to the stars to all these other elements, sports, everything that plays a part in all this shit. And then we think right off the bat, all these certain people just have an advantage, when in reality there is no advantage in a lot of situations, really. And it's not to say
when you got money, you got advantage.
I'm saying, like, not everybody has money. Some people, a lot of people grow up poor too.
I don't think it's just money though, man. I think,
but they can't like say, yeah, sure, you could say appearances and all that shit. But there's a lot of facets to society, man. Society isn't just our corner of the world. Like, you go around the world, man. A lot of China don't nobody give a fuck.
Let's not go around the world. Let's go. Hold on, let's not go around the world.
Stay in Tacoma, and it's like there's a lot of people that grew up with nothing. They had nothing, and they had to make themselves out of nothing, and they did that shit the right way.
Of course.
And every individual still has to look at that regardless. Everybody's dealt a different deck.
Okay.
And you got to try and take the hand you're given.
But Burns, let me ask you this, right? Why is there a word called reparations if it isn't a thing, right? Why is there an English word?
Again, it's hard to be.
What is the definition? No, Burns. Just answer my question. Just answer my question straight up. Why is there even a word? Why is the word?
Why is there a word entitlement? Why is there a word entanglement?
Okay, what I'm saying is, if reparations is a thing and it has a word attached to it, right? Why the fuck wouldn't we be eligible for that word?
Oh, I'm not debating that at all.
Oh, I thought that's what you were doing. I'm saying, why
would you think I was doing that?
Because when you
is that
came
what
back,
you guys were talking about?
That's what we were talking about.
About reparations?
Yeah.
I got no man, dude. Trust me.
I thought you had an opposition to reparations.
No, fuck no, man. Nah, hell no.
I'm just saying.
I would say go for it.
I want to give lots of money to everybody.
I don't even see. This is my thing.
Come on, man. We already talked about this.
I know. I was talking to Paul though. This is my thing as a black person, Paul. I don't want money. I want a vice.
Yes. I want
a vice. That is the most practical, tangible thing we could do. Like, instead of giving us money or whatever, give us the rights to sell weed.
No, you said something worse.
Give us prostitution. Give us some drugs. Give us, just like how Indians have gambling.
Way to fuck that up, man. Give everybody money.
Nah, fuck money. Because motherfuckers will fuck money. Give us something that no one else can have.
Money has no value. Man, I was saying, okay.
Give us something no one else can have. Give us.
I was saying, give property.
Yeah,
so you guys know
property is money.
Like give them a stake.
No, property is money, man. Give us an incentive. Give us something that no one else has that gives you an incentive to still go out and get it. And when motherfuckers be like, "Oh man, we can't come up," you can always say, "Well, nigga, you got this. You can't say that you can't get money without this. Give us weed. Give us weed."
You could always be a pimp.
I mean, Dre. I gotta jump in here, man.
Go ahead, man.
The Indian reservations got the right to own their own land and open their casinos.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
And they turned to white billionaires.
Yeah.
Who have left them with less money than before.
Yeah.
When some of that, just fucking give it to people. They'll spend it wisely. And maybe we help them.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, though. That money only lasts like one generation. It only lasts one thing.
I'm saying
autonomy. What I'm saying is autonomy, being able to do something that no one else could do, having a right would last forever. Give us a forever right. I don't want a one-time payment or no shit like that. Give me a right that I have forever.
I think you're asking for a unicorn, frankly.
Nah, I think it's more tangible. I think it would be more tangible to just be like, I'm not going to prosecute you for this. You're the only people that can federally have weed stores and put your money in the bank or something. Like, give us something tangible to where, I don't have to be that. I'm just using that as an example. But give us something tangible to where it's like only you can do it, and that will be a form of a reparation. You don't got to give us land. You don't got to give us nothing. Just give us a shot. Give us a jug. Give us something like, okay, you're the only person, and everybody else that wants to participate in that has to come through you. And that would, man, just like how you got to go through the Jews to get into Hollywood, give us something that you have to go through us.
All right, on that note, Slap, I got to say peace.
Hey, man.
It was good talking to you, Paul.
Hey, Paul, man, you got to call in next time, man. We'll continue this conversation, man. I love y'all, man. Don't take this reparation talk, man, to mean no love, man. I love you.
Then. Go to Path to Hollywood.